Well, good morning, and want to just welcome everybody here for the preview as we get started here at this year's edition of the She Sale, and kind of go through the offering with you. We're going to spend a fair amount of time with you, so you'll have a chance to watch through all the videos, see the Gilt, see what we all have to offer for some of the from some of the great breeders here across the United States. There's one thing that I want to point out here today before that we get too in depth with this. And in fact, I had a guy ask me last night about the sale, and he said he asked about what the ties of perfect timing was, and the sales do tie together. The thing that I want to let you know is so many of the people that's a part of this is kind of a kickoff as we lead into perfect timing, and we make our way there. We're just 30 days away, so this is kind of our kickoff consignment for that, and we look forward to it. We'll get a little more in depth as we go. So to get started here, we have lot 44. This blue Gilt is from Ritchie Livestock. She's sired by White One. Her mother is a never before hold my beer. Says she comes out of an awesome litter, and obviously that's the anybody that's followed that program knows that that's the staple crossbred sow there at Ritchie Livestock. I'm going to turn it over. I'm not going to talk a whole lot in terms of the animals as they come through here today. I'll kind of position them with who they are, the pedigree information. Sitting beside me at this particular moment is Seth Keplinger. Proud to have him not only in attendance as a consignor, but as an industry icon, if you will. Newly married, happy to have him sitting here and enjoy his honeymoon here at the She Sale this year.
Well, thank you, Todd. And obviously, it's always an honor, a good time to come down to Wellston and be able to analyze the Gilts. It's a sale that we take extremely serious, and obviously the breeders that offer the Gilts in this particular sale, no different. We get this blue Gilt, a white one there from Ritchie, and you talk about one, obviously she's got a little bit of a bad attitude, but you talk about one that's just built in terms of squareness, just as she comes and goes. She's got an elite look ahead of her blade. Probably what I admire about this particular Gilt is her maturity pattern in terms of having that kind of shape up high, and it's aggressive, but yet still looks like one that's going to be pliable in terms of her midrib there. I think she's got an absolutely incredible skull shape, especially when you talk big ring setting. You get into March there at the city. I think one that'll be awfully fun.
That's good. That's lot 44, Ritchie Livestock. The next Gilt to come into the ring here, too, is from Ritchie Livestock. And sitting here, it'll be lot 45. This is the Poland Gilt. This is a purebred Poland. She's sired by All Together. That's the boar there at Gary Todd's that I know has been so popular. The mother of this one is the Stating Facts Black Mamba sow. In the footnotes, Tyler writes, "This is the very best Poland that we've offered in a very, very long time." Key note there, the grandmother of this one was the reserve at OYE and a littermate to that $60,000 Gilt that sold there that year. I think we got a very special one here. I talked to Tyler a little bit yesterday. He said, we haven't dropped one out like this in quite some time. He said, I'm excited to offer at this year's event. Those of you that are chasing banners, chasing scholarships, whatever it is you're after in this particular breed, if Poland's at the top is something up there you're looking for, I think this one needs to certainly be towards the top of the list.
Absolutely, Todd, and one that comes out and demands your attention as soon as she hits the pellets here. In terms of having a wicked look from the side, she's pliable in her center body there. I think one thing that I truly admire about this particular female is just her looseness of skeleton, how her hock line sets into her skeleton. And then when that thing cocks off from the side, looks like one that's going to find the backdrop early and often, and then there again, come March, looks like one that your return on investment will be very, very high. Very unique one in lot 45.
Our next gilt here to come into the ring comes to us from TKO. This here is lot 53. This gilt would be sired by Next Pass out of a tricked out sow, a triple bred Next Intention pedigree here, bone, build, hair, look. With just a monster rib shape. I know Kyle just come off having a remarkable sale there at the farm, and he and his family do just a tremendous job there. We're thankful that this one got set aside and put back, and I know that is certainly the case with this one here. Very unique one here, Seth, to talk about in lot 53.
Yeah, well, they keep coming, and obviously, if you guys pay attention to social media, I saw this one's picture, and she intrigued me in terms of having that kind of elite look ahead of her blade. Awesome in terms of her skull shape, and obviously, just study your, study history and TKO. Their ability to raise generating livestock, to me is second to none. You kind of study your history lesson with the super monster and stuff like that goes back into time. This to me looks like a female, not only as a show gilt, but as a sow prospect. Just the bend and relaxation to her skeleton, I think, is absolutely incredible. Study that one's shoulder blade, I think, is so ideal within these particular crossbreds to still be tall shouldered, still to have her shoulder blade set right into her skeleton. And then you study that one and just how she's built in terms of her rear joints. She's flexible. She's got an awesome bendy rear leg. This one to me looks like a sale highlight, no doubt, in this TKO gilt.
Our next one here to come in is from Mays and KP, and we've been hearing about this one for quite some time. This is lot 33. This particular gilt here is sired by the Power Hour boar there that sold at Perfect Timing last year. His mother would be a Glory Days Next Intention. She comes from a bred sow purchase, actually, from the Swecky herd. I know KP and the crew there has been so pumped up about this one for a long time. I've been talking about this one, and man, when you lay your eyes on and see lot 33, there's plenty to talk about.
Yeah, no doubt. First thing I notice is awesome pigmented in terms of just, the texture and the color to her hide. And then we talk about aesthetic standpoint in terms of having that kind of foot and bone, that kind of elite look, in terms of that one's noggin shape, in terms of the slope to her forehead. She's a big-backed individual. She's one that looks like she can get out early, but yet at the same time, her maturity looks correct in terms of just the way her mid-body is. And man, oh man, when that thing goes directly away from you, to have that kind of density to rear leg, she looks a lot like Daddy, comes from a firm there, not only as the guys that raised her up and ties back into that Schwecke bred. I think a real neat one in this particular gilt.
One thing I'd like to point out, and I don't know that anybody cares about it, I don't know that anybody even looks at it or has anything to say about it, but if you want to see a crossbred gilt that has a superb underline, you might want to look at the quality of the underline in this particular female. Certainly another sale highlight here coming in and doing so in fine fashion with lot 20. This one comes to us from Halfin Show Pigs, and I tell you what, the crew there has been on a remarkable tear here of late, and again, another group that just had an extremely good sale there just a couple of weeks ago on a set of Barras that I know was very highly sought after. and so many positive compliments. And this one fits right in order. This is actually out of the great 41 litter. This here lot 20 gilt. She's sired by Mainline. Again, that was another board that was purchased at perfect timing last year. Her mother is a play money tricked out. This one here, it says, Jared says, one of the all-time best litters that he's had. Mates were obviously those high selling males through there. I know when the photos come out, our phones started ringing just immediately when they seen this one, and rightfully so. I think it's encouraging for those of you that get to see her on video. I would really encourage those of you that are in the sound of our voices, if you can make it, to get here tonight to see the set of gilts here that we're offering tonight in the sale. They will be available for you to look at throughout the afternoon as well here at the barn in Chandler. But with that being said, Seth, I'm sure you've got a comment or two about lot 20.
Yeah, this Halfin's been on an absolute tear, and you know, throughout the country. I know he's capturing the guys in the Midwest, and obviously he's been a staple here in the Southwest. This tag 20 comes out, and you talk about one in terms of just length to height ratio. I think is you know, perfect from that manner. You study that particular gilt from the side, so elite in terms of just her skull shape, the character to her lower jawline, her forearm shape, and then you know, one thing for me that kind of trips my trigger, incredible in terms of just the set to her tail, the thickness to her tail root. She's got that pumpkin handle going on there. I think one that obviously, you know, you want to dip into March there. To me, size-wise, she looks like one that could be an absolute hammer there even later on into the season for those guys that are already starting to shop for those big expo gilts. Very, very unique one from a firm that's been on an absolute tear. This is tag 20.
We have had lots of inquiries, obviously, from a standpoint of those of you that are showing gilts and looking for show gilts, but equally so those of you that are breeding and looking ahead to make the next generation. And I think when we bring the next one in here, kind of fits the bill and the token of what so many are looking for in terms of uniqueness, how they're put together, and that's this one that's coming in from Colson Show Pigs. I'm hoping I'm finding the fact that she's there close, but excited to see this one come to the ring. More excited to even tell you a little bit about her story when she gets here. So this here is lot 13, and Evan and I talked a lot about his consignment this time and where this one fit, and obviously those of you that know, when we put this together a few years back, Blake and I's very first phone call was to Evan, and he played an integral part in not only getting this going and helping us get it to what it is today, but more importantly, where that it continues. And we have a very unique one here, lot 13. This gilt here is sired by OG. We all know what that boar has been able to do in so many breeds and what he's continued to do. I'm not sure we haven't seen better sets of pigs out of OG this time than we did even out of his first pig crop, and we all know how that those things got along. The cool part about this one's mother is a WD-40 Chester sow that come from Sloan. So not only she comes to the ring to us with her ears, I guess most cocked like a Yorkshire, if you want to look at it in that regard. But I think the true value of this one is down the road 12 months or so, not only from a show ring standpoint and what her return on investment could be, but what litters of pigs and white pigs out of a gilt like this with that type of pedigree, what she could do and the dollars that she could generate throughout the Southwest market. Lot 13, Colson Show Pigs.
I was sitting in the airport there yesterday in Atlanta waiting on Dougie to come there, and I was kind of flipping through Facebook there, and I started reading up on this one because not only is she as good and remarkable, in her picture, she comes out and looks the part in terms of having punch and body in the center portion of her skeleton. She's got true base width as she comes and goes, and I always say the best breeders in this country, the best breeders throughout time, think outside the box, and obviously Evan's done that. And as Todd alluded to, just return on investment, to think long term where this particular female could get you, especially in the Southwest, I think is very, very unique. And then obviously, sired by OG on a Sloan sow. I don't think it gets much better in a Southwest type of setting. Real unique one in tag number 13.
Yeah, one thing that I want to add to this, she goes on out the ring. That's fine. Those of you that are here in attendance, or those of you that may be coming, I know at 1:30 this afternoon, close proximity, Evan and the crew over there is going to open up and show boars to those of you that want to see them. And I know he's got a few new highlights he's really proud of. So I would encourage you to make your way over there. The next one coming in here to us is Chad Day Show Pigs, and everybody knows Chad's our auctioneer and does so at so many of the Kennedy sales events that we do, and certainly proud to have him play that role, not only for us but for all of our consigners. But equally, he's playing a huge role here as a breeder in terms of what that he's brought us here today in Lot 8. This blue gilt, she's got a very, very cool, unique story to her. She's sired by Still Standing, the boar that's been so popular there this year. We've seen lots of good pigs out of him. Stands there at Top Cut that Chad and them got has there. The cool part for me, though, is the mother of this one is a Savage Echo gilt, and that was the gilt that Ross Murrow had here at She Sale a few years ago. And that gilt was one that actually come out of a bred female from Kurt Morgan. And if you remember that gilt then, how powerful and stout and square she was, you can see some of the same attributes in this one, just in terms of what she puts together and combines in terms of skeletal width, proportionality, her skull, everything about her. She looks and reads like her mama. We know that she's got a super, super good daddy that's been extremely, extremely popular and highly sought after. Lot 8, Chad Day Show Pigs.
Yeah, we came in last night, and Chad had this one out in the aisleway, and one that you just absolutely gravitate to, and having that traditional blue look. And obviously the blue thing is picking up steam throughout the country, and obviously we're going to start seeing these things, as guys are buying boars, more of these blue ones. And this one to me looks like not only as a show gilt, but a sow, future I think is extremely high as well. You study one in terms of having that kind of throat latch, that kind of skull shape. She's stout and sturdy, and yet she's still purty from the side there. I think one that's there again, as good of a light cross as you'll see throughout the country, and I truly mean that. Study the position of that one's front foot. Study her as she goes right directly away in terms of keeping everything in check. Get up on top of her. She's got great turn to her loin edge there, and then an awesome swoop to her midsection. This is tag 8 from Chad Day Show Pigs.
The next one here to come in is from Hammock Show Pigs and crossbred gilt here, Lot 21. This gilt here is sired by the popular Wild Time boar there that's now found his way to premium blend. This one's mother is a litter mate to modern day, or is out of modern day. She is a litter mate to the gilt that we sold here at the She Sale last year that brings 15,000. And then the grandmother is a sow that was purchased at Perfect Timing a few years back from Todd Show Pigs that would be the mother of Right Day. So Very, very stout in terms of pedigree here. Comes from a terrific program, a program that is just as consistent as anybody in terms of making them stout, in terms of making them square, but still yet having the presence to play at every level, at the highest level you want to play. But I think this one here, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I guarantee you she's going to win every show she goes to. I hope she does. But I think this is a remarkable one. If you want to study one from a standpoint of just genetic value, what she does. And again, Seth, you talk about return on investment. I don't know where the cap is on one like this.
Well, first things first, sired by Wild Time, and got the privilege there last spring to see several of those gilts there at OYE, and several times we'd go back and with Schwecky and say, hey, what was that class winner? What was this division winner? I guess probably 6 out of 10 times, they were Wild Times. Obviously, he took the country by storm when he sold there at the Exchange. I've got to see a few of them feed up and in the Midwest there this spring. To look at this gilt probably comes with a little more early maturity in terms of stoutness, and I think that's a good thing. You study that particular gilt in terms of her looseness of skeleton, in terms of her comfort level, and there again, she looks like one to me, not only as a show gilt that can go out next week and can win in March and on for there. And then you study that particular female just from a pedigree standpoint. I think a real neat one in this particular gilt.
The next one here to hit the ring comes to us from our good friend Slim Incorporated there at CNC Show Pigs. We have lot 6 hitting the ring, and the gilt there is She's Awoke, and then her mother would be a Kingpin Filthy. That sow is definitely the matriarch of the herd for anybody that has followed that program. We have to date only 2 daughters that's ever been sold out of her, and eventually it says here that there probably won't be many more, if any, particularly right out of here. But this one here, she comes out of the sow that raised the Reserve Grand in Missouri. That Boots and his crew had with the Foster's Gilt there at the Arkansas State Fair and the Mississippi Youth Expo. She's the grandmother of Basis Loaded, which was the board that sold the premium blend, and then the 7th overall dark crossbear at OYE there just this last year that the Cantrell family showed. But key point here, sired by Woke, and I know Austin and has been very high on this one. She probably brings a little more of a different look, I would tell you, than a lot of the pigs I've seen them have when you study one in terms of her lateness of maturity, but still stoutness everywhere from a standpoint of starting at her nose to her skull, her forearm, her bone. Love her flexibility here, Seth. I'd be anxious to hear what you got to add on this one.
Yeah, tag 6 comes out, and that is one sporty rig from the side. And there again, just her looseness of skeleton, her height to shoulder. And to be real honest with you, from a length to height ratio, I think she's so appropriate just in terms of being sired by Woke. You study that gilt and the backside of her pedigree. There again, I think return on investment in the sow lot. But first, it looks like one that definitely can get to the backdrop to have that kind of look, that kind of just neck length, and just the utilization and the approach that particular gilt got as she goes right directly away from you. I think a very unique one in tag 6.
So the next one to come in here, this Calico Gilt comes to us. This is lot 7. She comes to us from Cantrell Show Pigs, and Jeremy and the family has been been just a staple, I guess, if you will, in terms of the business, whether it be in the show ring, showing as a family, him in the center of the ring, judging, or what they've been able to put together from a breeding standpoint in a herd, and some of the powerhouse individuals that they have made over the years. This gilt here is a woke again, and then her mother is an absolute JoJo. So both of it, you just see the combination of pedigrees, of great genetics from within here in this calico. The mother of this one not only raised the bear that won Payne County last year, but had 2 premium cell bears there in the sale at OYE. They're out of her first litter. The grandmother of this one raised Get Real, which was the boar there at Premium Blend, and then they've retained about 5 other daughters back into the herd. This gilt here, you just study one in terms of profile, outline, and balance. We can all see that she's pretty green in terms of her maturity. Anybody that knows Jeremy very well and you've been to his house, that's how they come. This is the shape they come. This is the way they look. That's how he builds them. But I challenge you to find one that builds from the ground up in terms of foot placement, squareness of toes, shape, look, outline, and dimension that this one's going to be. Love this calico gilt here, lot 7, Cantrell Show Pigs. Seth, let's add some flavor to that.
Well, I'm always a sucker for a good calico, and this one fits the mold for sure. As Todd alluded to, absolutely elite in terms of her look from the side. She's a good green, in my opinion, because you study that particular gilt in terms of knee column, in terms of hock shape, everything in terms of angulation of that particular gilt reads to be with high quality. She looks like one to me that in 2 months somebody's going to look real smart with an awesome color pattern, in my opinion, in this tag 7.
This next one here to come into the ring. This is this Duroc gilt. I'm just going to say, as a whole group, the Durocs are going to come here in a minute, and they're going to come in waves. And super excited about the red females that we have here. And I think this is a tremendous way to kick off the offering here. And in lot 52, this one's from Swinford Livestock, and this is actually the first event that the Swinfords have joined any of the Kennedy sales ventures. But as we go forward, you're going to see them more and more involved in a lot that we do, and a lot of it has to do just strictly from all of the success continuously that they have had in the show ring so much. But this gilt here particularly, this is lot 52. She is a standing on business forward, and that there makes her a full mate to the champion Duroc bear there at the Oklahoma Youth Expo here this last year. Also from that litter come the 6th overall Barra and the 13th overall Duroc gilt. And then that sow went on to raise the champion Duroc Barra there at the 2025 Summer Cobra Show as well. So a great firm, a great family that I think is doing it just remarkably good. Proud to have lot 52 here to represent Swinford Livestock.
Well, as Todd talks about from a pedigree standpoint, I think the biggest thing in the show pig industry to have success, whether you're buying them, whether you're showing them, whether you're breeding them, is predictability. And we talk about from a pedigree standpoint, predictability is on her side. Yeah, she's probably, one of the pound smaller one. Study her from a skeletal standpoint in terms of squareness, in terms of just her rear hock shape. And I think for a red one, where I probably like her the most in terms of just a length to height ratio, reads to be appropriate in terms of just her back length. She looks like one. Obviously, the reds don't need to be as old as the crosses. She looks like come March, she'll be a lot of fun. There again, a high ROI on this particular gilt in lot 52.
The next one here to come into the ring here will be a Chester Gilt from Klein Swine, and again a young man and a family that I think has just done just a tremendous job. And Seth and his family doesn't they don't have a whole bunch of sows, but they do so. He plays with a few different breeds right now, but I think a man that people has looked upon particularly for his Chesters and what he's been able to get accomplished there. I know he just come off of a tremendous run, having pigs that got along throughout the Midwest there at Indiana, and then over on the West Coast as well. Just really proud of what Cooper and his mom and dad has been able to do, and particularly mom and dad, because Cooper has spent so much time on the road with other activities and what all he's involved in. And I will say, as we go towards perfect timing this year, now would be a good time for me to mention this. New Era is our theme at this year's event, and you're going to see some new faces and some new people involved. And Cooper will be one of those that you're going to get to see and hear a little bit more from. So proud to have him participate here. Doing so at lot 30. This Gilt is an all-inclusive. Her mother would be a boxed office. That sow originated from Trogdon and raised the $9,000 perfect game boar that Klein's had there at Belton in 23. The reserve champion Chester Bear at OYE in 23, and the 5th overall there at Tulsa in 23. Wins Central areas both days here in 24. So remarkable pedigree. I think a very, very good Chester Gilt. Got Big Bob sitting in here with me. He's going to talk through a few of them. Let's hear what he has to say about lot 30.
Well, New Era is a good description of this young man. He came out there at Belton with that boar a couple of years ago, and I'm telling you, this young man is serious, and he came out on top, and he has stayed there and been real steady since the first time I ever seen him there at Belton. That boar was good. He started out with some nice females, and he's building them, and he's here to stay for a while. I think that young man's very impressive to me. Raised this Chester Gilt. And then you look at the Gilt in the ring here, and she's one that impresses you from the Chester White standpoint. She's one that's very far forward above her shoulders there in her neck region. You like her front end that she's laid in her and her skull shape. She's a Gilt that's busted wide, up open up front. She goes wide and square from behind, and this one's got a big old back in her. And what impresses me more about this Chester White Gilt, she combines rib shape and volume with look, and that's so hard to do nowadays, in my opinion, to get that kind of rib blade one in there right and get that kind of look about her from the side. Very, very nice Chester Gilt.
Exciting here to see the next one come in here. This one will be lot 59. She comes to us from Wilbur Genetics, and again Grant and has done just a tremendous job putting high-end quality pigs together. And you follow that program, and you know the intensity that goes into it when it comes to having the highest quality of females. From a sow herd standpoint, and that's exactly what that we have here and what we're looking at. This one here, lot 59, she's sired by the Awakening boar, and then her mother is an It Ain't Easy Trumpet. This Gilt here is out of a first litter Gilt that comes back, would be a daughter of the Mollet sow, and everybody knows exactly what that sow has been able to do for Wilbur Genetics, and has been a staple there. Put that young man, if you will, on the map, and he hadn't slowed down since. And Grant, I heard Kelton talking a deal the other day that he made mention how hard it was to do business with Grant Wilbur when it come to buying a Gilt, and I would tell you that that's right, and it's certainly truthful. But I do know that he is extremely excited about this one. He has been telling me since she was little bitty that's where today was going to be her day. This is where they was going to focus her, and they was bringing her to she sale. It's lot 59.
Yeah, so Wilbur Firm is no stranger to us as they come in the ring here, and the success he's had at a young age is impressive as well. He's brought a really nice belted gilt to you here, I think, and one that just reads show pig from a rim to a root. This one here has really got a good look from the side. A long neck, a tall shoulder. She runs uphill. She's very long and level and square out her hip. A gilt that you really appreciate. She just gets your attention as she comes in the ring. The first 2 or 3 steps, you want to probably give that one a pin if you're judging. And you get to see the upside of this gilt and how she's going to get better. This is the way I like for them to look in their condition and their form. Just gives you a good feeding look, but yet high quality. Very nice gilt here from the Wilbur firm.
Again, another firm and a neighbor, if you will. Lot 40 comes to us from Merle Farms and Ross at the crew there. You never know what they're going to have. You never know what color they're going to be. You don't know how they made them, but you know that they're going to make them that are unique. And we have one right here, so to speak, and I think a true breeding piece. And this will be the kind that I think Bobby will be able to go off and talk about. Has some special features about her in Lot 40. This gilt here is sired by Above All. Her mother is an over-the-top. She is a purebred Berkshire gilt. She brings lots of positive attributes in that regard. The sow was raised there on the farm and showed by Madison Lee. She was second in her class at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. Her littermate sister sold for $10,000 last week there at the Queens to this particular gilt here. They're very, very excited about this litter. Most importantly, excited about what this litter can do. And being out of the Above All board there at Premium Blend, I think that only adds extra value. I think a very, very unique one here in Lot 40. We talk about return on investments. We talk about genetic potentials, what they can do down the road, not only for the new buyer, but for generations ahead. I think we might be looking at one here that's going to be laying in the pedigree of generations for quite some time, Bobby.
Well, we'll talk about the first part of her life first here, and I think she's got a great show career in her. I think from the day one, you want to take this gilt out and show her. You're going to be very proud of this one. The different pieces that she has, the unique pieces that she has within this breed. Judges are going to find her and get her to the very top of the class and going to describe her well. And then when you get down there to OYE with this particular gilt, and if you can get up there in the top end of that deal, when you run her through that cell lot up there at OYE, this one here is going to have lots of breeders that's going to surround the pen, because I tell you, I think the most valuable part of this gilt is in her second part of her life when you breed her and put her in that crate. I think you're going to get to do some special things within this breed that these Berkshires may have not seen yet. This one here is very square hipped and level hipped, and I think that's very unique about her. When she goes away, her pin set's so wide and she carries it down square to the back of her foot, and she takes a big old long stride off both ends. She's wide chested. But the story really starts in her skull, because she's really stout skulled. She got a breeder skull in her, and then you get into her rib and body, it's unbelievable. That's what rib shape's supposed to look like: depth, squareness, shape in the center portion of her body. The swag below, the volume of body that she has is incredible, and it really intrigues me as a breeder. When you go to breeding on this female, I think you're going to do some things. You can make boars, bears, and gilts out of them kind right there, guys. And they're going to have their pigs. They're going to lay down and milk them. She just has that look all about her, about a female. Very, very special gilt. Whether you want to breed her, whether you want to show her, whether you want to do both, I'd be looking in on her.
Our next one in the ring here comes to us from Snary Livestock with the Duroc gilt. This gilt here will be Lot 48. This gilt is sired by Old Fashioned. That's the board that we have there at Savage, and then her mother would be a limited edition sow, and that limited edition sow that this one's out of is a gilt that come directly from Tom Lamley. So those that follow that Lamley program and follow Tom in general know that the breeding value and the predictability in that one is a great deal. And I know Cooper and the crew there, again, they've been very excited about this particular female and what she has to offer. But when you look at a big ring Duroc gilt that has the most ideal maturity pattern, design, and build, I think we have one right here in lot 48. I think this gilt has a great future, great promise, and man, just impeccably built, Bobby.
You know, this is the second sale that I've seen these pigs at this year, and I've been very impressed both times. I'll be honest with you. He's got some cool things going on up there, and his breeding program looked like to me, and on the upside, he's making some special things happen. This Duroc gilt here is very impressive to me, and as you read her and you study her skeleton, you study her skull, and her feet and leg patterns. This one here is really, really high quality. I love the big old tail root that she has coming off the top of her rump. She's level in her design. She's stout in her skull, but yet got a good length of neck. She's very big in her forearm, and very big in her bones, and her feet are perfect. She's got upside to her. She's not just one of those bloomy deals, but I think when you go to feeding on her, and you're going to be really excited what she's going to look like every day that you have her on feed. She's going to get better. She's built for speed. I think this one's got a high future.
This next one coming in comes to us from Northwestern Oklahoma State University there from the swine program, and this in here is lot 41. This Poland gilt. She is sired by Step Ahead, and then she's a Hyundai ADR there on the bottom side. This gilt here would be, for those of you that was in attendance or had seen online, the barra that they led off with there at the backyard bash, and I thought that pig had extreme quality, and those of you that again, as I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for those breed hogs that to chase scholarships and to win a banner, there's some here that you better be following along with, because we hear the term and the verbiage used, big ring show gilt, and I don't know if you can draw a pattern or an outline of what you think one needs to look like any better than what lot 41 does in that regard, and particularly when you talk about this breed, just study one in terms of angles, feet and legs, and then still yet bringing all the look and density that this one has, Bobby. I know this is a breed that's probably really close to you. I think you'll probably have a few special things to say about this one.
Yeah, again, that when I was talking about that other set of hogs I saw, I was talking about that one of those Poland Bears he had there at the Todd and them sell down there at the backyard bash, and that thing hit me hard for a Poland hog. And this gilt comes in here in the same way. And if you just study this one and look at her from what you can do with this one as a show gilt, this one here is extremely long necked and extremely long fronted in front of her blade. She's got a great look from the side. She's tall shouldered. Her feet and legs are perfect. She comes at you with proper width, front and rear. She's a gilt that's a little bit greener in her condition. I like that about her. I think she's got a lot of upside to her. These hogs are for real. I've looked at a lot of hogs, and I can tell you which ones are going to get better and which ones are maybe not. And this one here is certainly going to get better, and you're going to be really proud in the end. I think showing when you get in that Poland drive, they say you can't get much bone in Polands. This one's got all the bone you want. She's got great feet, and she's got an extreme female look to me to do things afterwards her show career.
So the next one to hit the ring here comes to us from Trogdon Show Pigs, and the Trogdon crew has been a longtime staple at all of our events, and certainly thankful for their friendship, most importantly, and then obviously having the understanding of what it takes to take things to a whole new level from a standpoint of breeding programs and producing these pigs that not only are successful in the show ring for the young people that buy them, but then as well breed on. And I think that's a real important aspect when we talk about the offering here at She Sale, because there's so many of these gilts. We've already talked about that they are progeny of something that might have sold at one of our events before. And I think that is something that's a true testament to the breeders and the dedication that they put into it. I think this is another remarkable example here in Lot 55. The Trogdon Gilt is sired by Worldwide, and that's the boar there, Premium Blend. If you've not seen that boar, I would challenge you to make sure that you made a trip there, because when they drive out all 100 boars they have there, and you are so impressed with so many of them, that boar there still catches the eye of a second, a third look so many times. I think that boar is just absolutely remarkable. When I seen him there this past summer at some of the open houses. Then the mother of this one is a Last Dance sow, and then probably what triggers it even more is the no intro Rockstar sow on the bottom that goes back to Endgame Sister. And Eric will tell you that the no intro grandmother that this one has right here, they simply don't sell those pigs. They keep all the daughters out of her, and that's just a testament to the program. You look at what you got here in front of you in terms of the ring. I think we've got a very, very special female here, Lot 55. I'm sure Bobby will have a comment or two.
Todd stole a little bit of my thunder on that bottom side, because that impresses me when you go back 4 generations with extended pedigree, and you're doing that for a reason. You're trying to get to that sow that is so important that made this one back in the great-grandma's side. And the pedigree on this one, the work's done, guys. All you got to do is get her bought and breed her, especially when you if you can get a hold of her and get her bred, and next year it's going to be fun. But we haven't even talked about the show side of this thing, and I'm telling you what, this is a show queen here. This one here can walk across the ring with authority. She can get her neck up high in the air above her shoulders and roll. Her feet and legs are good. Her length of hips are good. Big old tail on the top side of that skeleton, and look at the flexible hind leg and the flex and go that she has from behind. Perfect angles to her shoulder up front. She comes at you with a big chest and a moderate length of body. I think you can go have a lot of success with this one in the show ring. I think all the guess works out when you go to breeder.
The next one here to come into the ring is from Keplinger Farms, and Seth sat there with us earlier on there and talked, and obviously a firm that needs no certain praise or introduction, if you will. We all know what he's been able to do in terms of a breeder, what he's put together, and then more importantly, just the person he is and what he means to the industry from a standpoint of when he grabs the microphone in the center of a ring, that he's a line in, or then more importantly, a young man that I put a great deal of value and treasure in, of watching him help others and talk through things with others. And I think that is something that's so critical and so valuable to our industry, and particularly this day and time. But brought a remarkable individual here in Lot 28. This gilt here comes to the ring, and she comes to us with a great deal of power and dimension. She's sired by the hang tight boar. Her mother is a tricked out, and then when we talk about the deep generations there, the grandmother there would be Peyton, and everybody that follows that pedigree along and follows the Keplinger herd knows that the breaking rules sow that they refer to as Peyton is something special. The grand dam there of this one would be the same as Logic. That's the board that sold there to 333 this last year. The dam also would be a litter mate to Baby Girl. That's a half sib to the Grand and Reserve Barras there at the Ohio State Fair back in 24 that I think people will talk about for the next 10 to 15 years, if you will. This one here is the kind of gilt that obviously you find them at the backdrop multiple times, but then more importantly, this is the kind of female that you hear about for generations. And on down, there's a reason that it is. She's put together the way she is, the pedigree that she represents. Then study this particular female, outstanding individual here, Lot 28, Keplinger Farms.
Well, I've known Seth since he was a young man, and I when he was a young kid in high school, I knew that he was going to grow up and breed hogs, and because he talked it from day one. He studied pedigrees as a young man. He grew up listening and learning in his 20s, and now he's getting after it, and you can see what he can put in the ring because of all of his homework that he's done. Now, I haven't talked to him yet. I hadn't got a chance to visit with him, but one or two things happened here on this gilt because he's been feeding this gilt a little bit of time here, and he either had her stuck back in the keeper pen on day one, or he had her pegged for this sale, and either way, it is very hard for a breeder that has put this much work into a project and actually gets one like this, and then you offer for sale, and that's very admiring because I know it's got to pain him just a little bit to bring her up here and offer. But it's going to be to your advantage the way I see it, and his disadvantage because this one here is good, guys. And you can drive the wheels off of a truck and try to find a breeding female or a show gilt or whatever you want to do, and try to get one that somebody's going to sell like this. And good luck. But she's right here today. She's going to be for sale tonight, and I don't have to go through and describe her. This thing is stout. She's good looking. She's got bone. She's got feet. She's sound, square, big ribbed, moderate, perfect length of body, perfect skeleton. From her rim to her stem, she's good. She's got a great quality. Just get in. If you can own her, I'd advise it.
Well, the water stays deep here as we get into this next set, and this is Goss Livestock hitting the ring here, and does so with lot 18, and obviously again we talk about programs, we talk about families, we talk about people that just do it and play it at the highest level, and it sounds repetitive at times, but there's a reason, and when it needs to be said, I'm always one to say that it needs to be said, and that's why we do it. Goss brings to us obviously a gilt here. They've had every opportunity in the world to sell one like this. We've been at all the get-togethers with them. We've been in numerous sales with them. But then yet at the same time, they hold ones for special reasons, and we're thankful that they did again, and they did here with lot 18. She's sired by the popular all-access boar. I don't know how many good ones out of that deal we've seen this year, but a magnitude of them. Her mother is sired by Money's On, which would make her a litter mate to Money Moves. And then the mom of that of this particular gilt here would also be a litter mate to the boar that they sold batters up. So again, a firm that I don't know that you can't talk enough about. Great friendships. Love the people behind the program, and again, love the type of gilt that they're representing here at this year's she sale, lot 18.
Well, the Goss crew brings you one here, and I've been out there the last 3 days at the sale looking at these littermate brothers and the set of pigs that they've had the last 2 or 3 sales, and you know, Todd, they didn't hold one back. They let one go because they don't. I didn't see any gilts that's Blake sold much this year, so he just don't sell gilts. And he brought one here that he wanted to have a memory, he said, and I think he succeeded on that because he's very memorable. But when they do drop one in, you know it's going to be quality. You know it's going to be consistency bred in there. That's just what's so impressive about that herd is you can talk their hogs all day long, and you're just saying the same things over about skeletal quality, feet and legs, soundness, bone, boxiness of body, and length of front. And they're all he's got them where they're all cookie cutter made. He's offering you a gilt here. I know it pains him as well. He does not like selling gilts, but he's sharing one with you here, and I'd pay attention. Like I say, what's impressive about this gilt to me is a gilt that's got show quality written all over her. Yeah, she's so boxy in her length and her body, so square in her build, but yet her flexibility is perfect. She moves with the ring, coming at you and going away. Very square, very flexible, with great angles to her skeleton. I'd get in here as well on this particular gilt. I think she could be a lot of fun.
Really cool. This one was excited to get into the ring, and rightfully so. We're excited to have this one. This is lot 43 from Real Time Genetics, and this is going to be our first land race that you're going to see. You're going to get to see a multitude of land race at this year's event, and man, I tell you what, they come in great fashion, and certainly proud of the ones that we have. This one here, the first one we're going to talk about is, as I said, is Real Time Genetics and Austin and his crew. I mean, this is the lifeblood of their program, and what we know that he loves putting these things together and has done just such a remarkable job. Kudos to him and the crew. Had an awesome sale last week, as well as a footnote. But this one is sired by Have a Day. That was the boar that the Chad Day and Firm had. That was the champion there at the World Pork Expo last year. And then that is a full brother to the one, that the boar that stands there at Top Cut. And that boar has just been so dominant as well within that breed himself. The mother of this one is a Timing's Right, Life Ain't Fair. Those of you that remember the Voss gilt, if you will, that was bronze overall at Tulsa in 2023, was one of the more remarkable animals that I've ever seen of this breed, particularly in terms of unique parts and pieces. Her extra look and extension that she had about her, and then just what she put together in terms of high quality, I thought was just absolutely incredible. That is the mother of this particular female here. That would also, the dam is also a full sieve and blood to the mother of the $41,000 king boar there that Kenchi and the crew sold there at the draft. So super excited about this landrace gilt. Again, we talk about winners, we talk about scholarships. He's done it all. Played at the highest level in this breed. Proud to have lot 43. I got Jared Halfman going to set in and talk to us a little bit here through the next phase. Proud to hear his thoughts. We'll let him start out here on lot 43.
Yeah, we get Kenchi's land race gilt in here, and like Todd said, that gilt that is this gilt's mother was one of the more incredible pieces of livestock in general that I've seen in a while. In the purebred game, we show quite a few purebred gilts, and I'm telling you, this one's mom was an absolute game changer for this breed, and I'll be honest, this gilt really represents the same kind. This thing's head shape and her look out front is just hard to believe. And then you study just her length of body, the length to her rump, her proportions, and the way she puts things together. She is very, very similar to her mother in that aspect. And then you just think about the genetic power and the passion that Kinchi puts into these landrace. And I think this Gilt's going to have success. She's small and she's green. I definitely wouldn't counter out this thing. She is weird looking. Tag 43 from Kinchi.
The next firm coming in, again, a group that is just so dominant in the game that they play day in and day out. And this is lot 15 from Day Family Show Pigs. And I tell you what, some of the finer people that you'll ever meet, you'll ever do business with, but most importantly, those that you just have to admire the quality of job that they do of raising livestock. And I tell you what, they've got a unique one here in lot 15. This one here is sired by Blue Magic. Her mother would be a Play Money backdrop, and then you'll find that in-game sow back in the bottom. The dam was a keeper gilt from a year ago, it says. The grand dam was the OYE cell-making gilt, and a littermate to Day Money there at Squires. The great-grandma is the in-game kingpin sow that would be the mother of modern day. But we talk about blues. We talk about the value of blues. We talk about all the opportunities that are in with blues. You don't find blues that have some of the parts and the big pieces that this one has to offer in lot 15.
Yeah, we've got Day Family Show Pigs in here with the blue gilt, and honestly, whenever a pig comes in the ring, I just kind of piece together a breeder's mindset a lot of the time. And I was at Justin's house yesterday, and if you've ever been to his place, you understand the kind of livestock and the kind that he likes, and he likes them to look like generators, and I think this one does. This thing's forehead and the pry to her blade, her heart and her shape to her center cavity is incredible, and at the same time, for one that's that exotic in terms of her presence and her skull, she's tight in her throat line, she's laid back in her shoulder, she's long in her hip. She leaves you really, really square and secure. She tracks directly away. Again, a gilt that looks like a generator from a program that buys generators and makes generators. Very good pig here in tag 15.
Next one here to hit the ring comes to us from my two favorite girls, if you will, in the hog business, MC3 Wards. And again, we talk about a family, we talk about a firm that puts them together. You never know what kind, what color, or what they're going to be when the gate swings, but you can attest the fact that they're going to be good and they're going to be high quality. The same can be said here. Lot 34 comes to us, the spot gilt. She's a time machine, remains silent. The cool part about this one is 37-2 is a full sib to Hadley Davis's reserve overall spot there at Coba this last year. Went on to be the reserve there at OYE here in 25, as well as the breed champion there at the county shows, and then multiple shows there, including Muskogee Regional. 37-2, it says, follows the same look and design as what that particular gilt does. You can always trust the fact they're going to have good, high-quality ones that are built right, that are sound, that are correct, and fit appropriately for the show ring when the Ward firm brings one out. I think they brought us another one here, very, very unique, spot female that has great value tonight. I would say have greater value come March.
Yeah, the MC3 crew is a crew that we've actually gotten to be very good friends with and got a ton of respect for. If you just look back in terms of their niche in what they do, they're at the top of the game in terms of the spots and the Berks and some of those breed hogs, and even from time to time you'll get a whooping from them in the crossbred game too. And so I think this gilt represents, like Todd said, just the kind that do it long term, and I think that's the kind that they believe in. And so as we just talk about the livestock in the ring, this spot gilt is one that just reads like a long-term high-end individual at the end. And I think that's what matters, and I think that's something that we need to remember more often. And when you study skeleton in a gilt, that in this breed, they just don't come built like this up front. The way her blade sits in her as she approaches you, the way her neck attaches on top of her blade, and then yet still, she's not a sissy in terms of her mid-body. She's square and opened up and has clearance as she goes away. A gilt that represents all the right things and all the long-term things that matter so much in this breed. This is tag 34 from MC3.
The next one here, Belted Gilt, hits the ring, comes into us from Pale Livestock, and this gilt here would be a biggin, and then her mother is an Icon Blindside. Mom was a gilt campaign there that Lane Stewart showed there. Got him got a scholarship spot there at the Coba show there just a few years ago. She would be a mate to Audrey Koger's Barra that went on an absolute tear, it says, throughout the Mississippi jackpot circuit. Anytime Pale brings one out, you know it's going to have unique parts and pieces. I think when you study one here in terms of just her build, her moderation, love that skull shape and presence that this one has. I think we got a very good one here for Pale Livestock, lot 42.
Yeah, again, we're in the Southwest, and we've know quite a few guys around here. And again, Pell's a very good friend of mine. I actually moved in about the same time as him last night and studied this gilt just a little bit, and I was impressed initially. And then when I studied her and he got her out, I was even more impressed. It's hard to put one together with this type of roundness to her rib cage, and yet still be edged out up high and still flexible in her spine. And then you study her off either end. That thing's head and the way it attaches up front is something that is hard to do. And her blade's laid in her right. She's strong in her toe. She leaves you really good as she goes away. I think this is one of the more exotic ones that's been through the ring in terms of proportions, bone, look, and yet still having long-term practicality. I really like this pig in tag 42 from Pell.
The Hofschulte crew brings one in here, and this one here is lot 24. And again, we talk about firms and families and what they've put together, and then always consider the uniqueness of the kind and that they do and the way they go about doing it. And I think this is a great representative there, and you will see even more as I talk to you about the pedigree and go in depth here. This one is sired by Navy Blue. Maybe that will be why the color is that she brings to the table. Her mother, though, is a Blackfoot Hero in game. Keep 'em guessing. Dirty Secret. And as Big Bob alluded to earlier, he said I stole a thunder on one when we was talking about the depth and generations and pedigrees. And I think that's the importance that's kind of a lost art, if you will, in today's time of understanding what you're dealing with there. But when you can go back and you can talk about generations and what that they've been able to do and build within a herd, I think that that is to say something. And this one here, I think Chris, Nick, Nat, all of them there will tell you that we look at livestock and you always look at ones and say, man, that one can win a show. And sometimes you look at some and say, man, that's a unique one that might make one day that could win a show. And I think this is one of the great examples. I made a mention earlier that this sale has attracted so many interest levels from a breeder's perspective and what people look at long term. I think we may have another one of those individuals at this type here in lot 24.
Yeah, Tag 24 here from HG, and obviously a program that's a staple here in our part of the world and across the country. People that just know good stock, and they've got the mindset that it takes to make an impact, and they've done just that. And so, and furthermore, in terms of pedigree on this one, the Navy Blue Boar, he's got that never before short bust line in him, and that only adds to the generating value of this particular pig, in addition to the stuff that Todd talked to you about just moments ago. And so I'm on the same page with Todd in terms of this one just looks like one that can raise one. She's got huge feet. She's so agile and so comfortable in her toe and her lower joints at the surface. Her arm is huge, and she's still so good in terms of the length to her spine. And I think one that just looks like one that can have value in a sense of getting in a crate and raising a show winner. This is tag 42 from 24 from HG.
I told you that we was going to have some unique parts and pieces when it come to the red breed, and this is another one right here that's going to be fun to talk about, and that's so with lot 56 from Viger Show Pigs, and Shane and the crew has participated in our events for the last couple of years, and there's always a unique one that comes in, and I think we have another one here this time. This Gilt here is sired by the All the Way boar, which obviously everybody knows his dominance in play right now in the Duroc breed. And then the mother of this one would be a Stay in Your Lane. He puts here in his comments, simply put, she's the one I've been trying to make since they purchased the mother of this one, and you can just see and see why when you look at one from a standpoint of her look, the design, and the outline that she has. Her mother is a littermate to the grand overall bearer there in 22 at the Indiana State Fair. She has been the dam or grand dam of several banner winners, most notably the grand overall Gilt there at the Sweet Peach Regional there, and then the 5th overall Duroc Gilt there at the Indiana State Fair here this last month. But I think a unique one, a high quality one that offers a lot for this breed, just basically in terms of basic build, soundness, look, her outline. But man, I tell you what, to put all of that look together and have that big a skull with the pedigree that this one represents, I think we got some good parts here.
Yeah, we get tag 56 from Viger in the ring, and a red Gilt that just oozes quality. One that's so tall at the point of her shoulder, really neat and attractive up front, yet still broad in her lower jaw. She's got big feet and a big arm, and still reads comfortable, and has the right kind of maturity for one to be good when it matters. And at the same time, I'll tell you, she's not the fluffiest one we've seen through the ring today, but I encourage you to study honest composition, honest maturity pattern, and one that just brings unique parts and pieces to the table. This is tag 56 from Viger.
Mr. Cyclone himself comes in next and does so in fine fashion. Proud to have Bryce Conover, one of our truly great friends in this industry, and someone. I think I've said this before. You have no idea the conversations that him and Blake have on road trips. I think they're they talk to each other more than than anybody else does from about 2 a.m. to 4 and 5 a.m. It seems like, as they're both pull all nighters. It seems like, but proud to have Bryce here. And man, I tell you what, I think he brought us a really good one in lot 5. This gilt here is sired by the Special Effects 84 two-bore there that Bryce has, and then her mother would be a Game Day, and obviously Bryce is someone that everybody knows within the Berkshire breed and what he's been able to do for a magnitude of multiple years and do it at a very high level. I think he brought us a truly special one right here. In terms of show ring moderation, look, build, bone, stoutness, the attractiveness that this one here gives you from her blade forward. I tell you what, this one puts a lot of really neat pieces together in a package for a Berkshire, and particularly with this breed right now that is kind of maybe looked at times upon as needing an outcross or to make something a little different. I think this one has some extra special value here. Lot 5, Bryce Conover.
Yeah, we get Conover in the ring, and obviously a guy that's been in this game a long time. And I don't know Bryce personally, but I've got a ton of respect for the way he does business and the mindset that he has. He's one of the true hog breeders in terms of our industry, and so he brings us a Berkshire Gilt here that just reads like one that has quality, like so many of them that we've seen thus far. She's round-bodied, she's big-bladed, she's muscular, and yet smooth tying in terms of her muscle. You watch her come and go. She's so square and secure and appropriate in terms of the width that she has off either end of her body. She's still neat and immature up front, is what I think's unique about this particular pig, to have this much horsepower underneath and yet still be so pronounced and so unique in terms of her look. This is tag 5 from Conover.
A really unique spot gilt comes in here next to us and does so from our friends there at Winter Circle Show Pigs, lot 60. This gilt here would be sired by the Peace Pipe Boar, and then her mother would be a Speak Up Silencer. Then one of the favorite spot gilts that they've turned loose of this time is what Brittany has there in her notes, and her mother would be a mate sister to that champion spot bearer there at Coba in 24, and then the reserve spot bearer there. That's how produced the reserve spot bearer there at the American Roll as well. And then the sire of this one is the daddy of Spot On, the board that Winter Circle crew sold there at Perfect Timing last year for like $35,000. It went on. It's done just a remarkable job there at Premium Blend. And when they bring them out, they're going to bring them out that's got uniqueness about them, has some character about them, and the right kind. And we did so, and we do so again here. Lot 60 from Winter Circle.
Yeah, obviously a program that doesn't need much introduction in this breed, and they've made their mark, no doubt. And so I just think back to PT and seeing that hog there that they sold, and then seeing him as a mature boar, and how impressed I was with just how well that hog maintained his quality. And this gilt, I think, looks like the same kind in terms of maintaining her quality. That one is so good in terms of just the scale that she has, and yet still so stout and so big in terms of her feet, and so agile and comfortable when you set her into motion. A gilt that's got a stout head but a clean look in front of her shoulder. A really nice individual here, and tag 60 from Winter Circle.
Well, the spots keep coming, and and do so in fine fashion here. I said that earlier. We've got another one here in lot 54, and this one is from Todd Show Pigs, and obviously Gary and his family, very special people to us, and have been a part of many of our events, I think, from day one, and certainly excited to have them back again here with this one. This gilt here is sired by Waxahachie, and then her mother is a party animal sow. Gary has in his notes, this is the favorite spot gilt that he's made. And the mother of this one was a high-dollar baby pig that they bought down there at Sly Farms' sale last fall. And I know from the minute he bought that sow, I was actually talking to him on the phone on the way home, and he was excited. That's the second most excited conversation that I've ever had with the man, and he was as excited about that purchase that he made that night as about anything. Waxahachie itself is the boar that was purchased there at the Players last year from G2 Livestock. A unique individual here, put together in obviously Gary Todd fashion, the way he wants to do it, but an extremely high quality animal that just screams greatness, and you can just see this one getting better every day of her life in terms of just her build, her bone, her feet quality, skull shape, and we know that there will be a banner hanging on this one at some point in her life.
Yeah, Gary's been a friend for a long time, maybe longer than anyone in terms of the pig industry, and a guy that's just a great person and a good hog mind, and a person that obviously is widely respected and raises elite livestock at time in and time out. And so if you're watching online and you're just kind of playing in the background, I'd probably just stop what you're doing and watch this for a second. This is tag 54 from Gary Todd, and I think I want to make note of that so you can circle her on your sheet, because this one it lights me up, to be honest with you. One that is just so neat in her presence, so right in terms of her angularity and her composition and her maturity, and yet we want to make them stout. We want to make them unique. We want to make them have show-winning pieces. She's got that too. She's heavy structured. She's got awesome spread to her claws. She tracks away. Her blade's laid in her correctly. I like this one. Tag 54 from Gary Todd.
Obviously, the next one hits the ring and comes to in great fashion from Gwartney Show Pigs, and again, a firm that is very notable around the industry in terms of high quality livestock, and proud to have them back there at the She Sale this year. And they come in with a vengeance with this particular Chester Gilt in lot number 19. She is sired by the Pitmaster board there at Crossroads, and I actually was had the opportunity to see that boar show and sell that day. I thought that was the most intriguing Chester boar that I had come across and had bumped into the day that he walked across that green carpet in Perry, Georgia. The mother of this one would be a Delta sow. It says here that they feel that this one has an extremely neat look, cool looking, and just what that they put together. The mother of her was the champion and 4th overall there at Coba. The Grand Dam is a full sib to the 23 Supreme overall, that Chester Gilt that won in 23. So a firm that puts them together at the highest level. I think they brought us another special one here in lot number 19.
Yeah, obviously, Gwartney's a guy that I'm really, really good friends with, and I get the privilege to help his kids with their pigs, and so I'm really, really familiar with what they've got going on, and have as many conversations with him about just breeding livestock and life as anyone, and a guy that's just he toots to the horn. he does it his way, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and he has success at the highest level at doing it. And this is a Chester Gilt that represents why. We have conversations about what we need to make, how we need to make our stock better, and we've been talking about making them his way in terms of stoutness and roundness of body and longevity, and yet making them sharper up front. And I think this Gilt represents a plan coming together. One that's got his type of horsepower, rib, chest, feature, and yet it's got that more intriguing look and long-term presence to her front skeleton. One that is, I think, good now, really, really good when it matters. Tag 19 from Courtney.
I'm really excited to talk about this next one. And again, she hits the ring. We have lot number 36, and she comes to us from Moeller Show Pigs. And again, affirm this is the first time that they have been a part of one of our events, but you're going to see them more and more as they do. And Buster and the crew there has just been they've been long-term friends of ours and of the industry. And anytime that they're going to bring one out or what, you can just bet the fact that it's going to be unique. This one here is sired by Wild Ride, and then her mother is a Money's On. But I think there's a cool story behind this. In my footnotes, as you read, outside the fact, so many people say, well, this one should never leave the farm and all, and she shouldn't. This is the kind you try to make the next one and to make your herd even better. And that's exactly what I think that this one looks like. Do we have a true generating powerhouse here in the ring? But the cool footnote says Blake was headed home from a judging workout with Iowa State from San Antonio, and he said, hey, I bought a pig. We need to figure out how to get her north. He'd been on a trip, and he found a gilt that swallows. And anybody that hasn't figured out what Gabe Swallow and his crew has been able to do and accomplish in the industry, you got to be living under a rock. But I tell you that because some of the unique breeding pieces that I've ever seen come from the Swallow herd, and that's exactly where this one's mother come from. She was a direct purchase from there. She's where the money is on lies there in the pedigree. They've put this one together. They bred her to Wild Ride. I think we've got a remarkable, unique. I don't know if you talk about this one again as the ones we said is jackpot show winners every weekend. I don't know. I have no idea what her show career is going to look like, but I would tell you in a sow lot and long-term longevity with this type of build, this type of bone, that type of hair, and that type of presence, this kind will live in generations for a long time. Lot 36.
Yeah, I could echo a lot of the same thoughts from a pedigree and mindset standpoint when I start to study this gilt. But honestly, this one just looks like a generator to me, one that is so broad and yet so secure in terms of her hind leg placement. Absolutely gigantic features, and yet still good in terms of her skeletal quality and the step she takes off both ends. I don't need to describe the gilt much in terms of how good she is and how unique she is. I'll just tell you, I would not be surprised if this one raises a big winner someday. This is tag 36 for Moeller.
The next one to hit the ring here is going to come to us with power, and from one of the great breeders here in the breed right now, playing the game. And this is Bedecker Farms, is lot number 3. This gilt here, obviously sired by No Vacancy. The mother of this one would be a limited edition, and you follow Bedecker, you follow what the young man has been able to do and continue to do with breeding hogs, with show pigs, whatever it is. He's making the unique ones and making unique ones, in this particular breed, particularly, and doing so at the highest level. This is a young one. She's an August. She's going to have an August 4th date on her pedigree. She looks like that size. She looks like that age. She looks like the kind that you're going to just be able to feed, take her to the highest level, and I promise you'll be able to feed at the highest level. And doing so, I'm sure there'll be some remarks. I've got Blake Goss jumped in here. He'll share us a few comments here on lot number 3.
Well, I agree with Todd about fitting that window, and she is appropriate. I don't know if you can tell online the size of them, but I promise you one thing about Bedecker Durocs, my favorite thing about them is their maturity pattern. Every time he brings one out, you do kind of a double take, just because their lines are so right, yet they push some extremities in terms of presence. The design to me of her upper body and the way everything ties, it starts in the top of her shoulder where she hooks up to her neck, and then you study her from her tint to her tail. She's flat back, neat looking, and great footed. And also, I could say, when you watch her come and go, she's not a round built Duroc. She's a Duroc that keeps her shoulder in check. She's a Duroc that's still flat in terms of her joint work. She's consistent in her width. I think a high end one here, and if you guys have watched the roll that Bedecker's on, this one is obvious to me as a short lister. A very good Duroc Gilt here that they bring to you, tag number 3.
Next one to hit the ring here is Staten Farms, and obviously Staten has always played a very integral role there at all of our events when it comes to offering high quality Polands, and done so again here in fine fashion, bringing this lot 49. This gilt here would be sired by the 33 3-bore. The mother is a quick tricker, no brakes. It says here only one other gilt has ever been offered publicly throughout the season. The dam of this one was the champion Poland at Illinois there in 24. The Grand Dam raised Runaway, which was the $26,000 bore they sold there in the draft to Crossroads. The 33 3-bore is the Head Start Son that was purchased from the 650 crew there this past winter. You've got heritage of genetics of great deal, of great quality, and again, a firm that breathes, and loves this particular breed. They bring out unique ones. I don't know if they've brought one out that is built as unique as what this one does to represent this breed in lot 49.
I think every time Todd gets me to talk at the she sale, for some reason, there is always a Poland Gilt. It's almost like he plans it. Staten is one across the country more than anybody in this particular breed, and I'll be the first to tell you, I don't think there's ever been one that I've seen him bring that's this obvious, that's this easy to gravitate towards. For a Poland Gilt, she has got a full hind leg. She's got a great set to her ankle. She's got some cushion. She doesn't look like a Poland. She might act like one, but she does not look like a Poland from the side. She's elite and current ahead of her shoulder. She's beautiful in terms of the length of her cannon and her maturity. To have this much bone and this much presence is hard to do in this particular breed. And then you make them that slick in their crest and that appropriate in their shape. This one is big time good, Todd. We talked about a Poland Gilt a year ago that pushes the limits. This one does so in the same kind of fashion. This is a big time offering, in my opinion. My compliments to the boys. I think this one's legit. Tag 49.
Well, same thing can be said about the particular firm coming in here next, and that's McGrew Show Pigs. And there's not a family that's more dedicated to their particular breed and do it at the highest level as what the McGrew family does, and have been just a staple, not only in the breed for what they do, but at the Kennedy sales events. Anytime that we're putting them together and we're looking for the best of the best in this breed, this is one of the very first calls that we always make. And I think we got a very, very good female here that not only represents what they're trying to do day in and day out, but it represents their program. And this is lot number 35. She's sired by the Wildcat boar that's just done just such a tremendous job making landrace, and then her mother is a young happy hour sow that they're just getting going. There's not a big storyline or a lot that you can say particularly about the mother of this one just quite yet, but I think when you study one here in terms of sow productivity, a show gilt that's stout, and I mean we're talking landrace that are stout. This one puts a lot of positive things together, Blake.
Yeah, I had to look at your paper to look at this one's particular pedigree. She does not look normal. That is for sure. I don't know if online you're getting an accurate representation right now of how good this gilt is, but I can truthfully tell you to have a skull like that and attached like that with them kind of appendages are hard to do. There you go. Now you're getting it. Her shoulder and her knee lays in her body appropriate from the side. To me, she's a big pin landrace gilt that's got real muscle, yet more importantly, it lays on her body smoothly. She has got a fat hind leg, and it's full all the way to her dew claw. My favorite thing about her, you set her into motion for her breed. She keeps her top line top-notch, elite. I would say she's in a top percent for me in terms of the breed, what she can do. Todd's been talking about making landrace. I guess we'll see how serious he is. This one's big time in this particular breed.
The next one coming in comes to us. We talk about unique ones. We've talked about the breed, what they look like, and you can always attest the fact and guarantee the fact that when Brett Byers brings us one, it's going to be of high quality, and we've done so again here in lot number 4. This gilt here from Byers Farms, she is sired by All the Way. Her mother would be a Raise the Bar creation. The dam is 50-10, which was showed 2 winters ago by the Dosh family here in Oklahoma. And that gilt there was a littermate to the road ahead. She's a daughter of the grand overall gilt there at San Antonio in 2023 that Briley Byers showed. So far, it says 50-10 has produced the 3rd Division 1 gilt there at NJSA, and the champion Duroc there at shows here in Oklahoma. So anyway, I think beyond all of that and what it says on paper, you look in the ring here, and we have got one stout creature that is heavy in terms of her structure. Love her skull shape. I'm sure Blake will have plenty to say here about this All the Way daughter.
Really good row of gilts here, and it's like championship row on the purebred side of things as they just keep coming in, and the story starts, in my opinion, in this one's skull. It kind of gives you a hint to what's coming. Not only is she broad in her skull, yet she's still tidy in terms of her jaw, and then you get down to them features. Them are ginormous legs that are full. You get in behind the livestock, and it's hard to ignore that view when she walks directly away from you. She is so square and mobile out back, and then you watch her come, and she's got some spread from her knee to the base of her body. This thing to me is honest and genuine in terms of power. She's 3-dimensional. She looks like she could win a lot of shows. There's no question about it. To me, she looks like she could make a herd boar and make a guy a lot of money moving forward. Truthfully, tag number 4, we've said it now back to back here, but this gilt that comes in, it's hard to ignore kind like this, and I know how hard they are to let go of. My compliments to the Byers crew. This one's elite in my opinion.
Well, the next one here to come into the ring comes to us from Albright Swine Farm, and obviously Dougie and the crew there, they have always taken she sale real serious, as so many others do. And with that being said, I don't know that he's ever loaded one, brought one, sent one, or whatever you want to do that looks like Lot 2. I think we've got a very special individual here from Albright Swine Farm. She's sired by Pay to Play, and then her mother would be a tricked out sow, and she is just that. She comes to us tricked out in many ways, looks, kinds. This kind is hard to put together. For those of you that are wanting to run every weekend and do it from now until the end of time, I think you can show this one. There's a great big window of opportunity right here. I can't see how this one ever hits the ring and a judge don't have a second look right off of the bat. This Lot 2, she comes with presents. I'm sure Blake will have some comments about it.
My friend Big Bob, he calls this kind three-steppers, two steps and get to the pin, and we'll look at her later. And I would say she fits in that mold. Not only is she stout in her feature, this thing is crafty looking from the side. She's got that current presence about her when you step off to the side of the livestock. Yet I'm in love with her skull shape. Her skull shape is so right for today's time, in my opinion. It's got some character to it, yet it still offers that extra presence that it takes to get to the backdrop. She is busted open from front to rear. Her consistency of width at the base of her body, to me, is for sure a highlight. There's no doubt, and I can't help the pig breeder comes out in me. She's got a load me in the crate tail, a big tail root, some really sweet indicators. I think this is one that a guy probably needs to have on his show string, and I agree with Todd. I think that she could go show next week, but I think she could hang around just a little bit and stretch all the way into March and even farther if you want.
The next one here to come in comes to us from Sites Livestock, and we have Lot 47, the Chester Gilt here. This one here is sired by Rural Prince, and then the mother of this one would be a time to keep sow. Says here, very rarely would one like this be offered for sale, and people that know Ryan knows him, that these white ones are very special and close to his heart all the way around. And I know when he put these together, he's talked a lot, and you don't really, it's like pulling teeth trying to get Ryan Sides to tell you something about something he raises, but he's quick to tell you about what he done here. The sire of this one is Rural Prince, and that's a boar that stands there at Zimmerman Farms. That is a litter mate to Crown Prince, which was the record-selling boar there at Premium Blend. And I tell you that because knowing Ryan, knowing the way that Ryan studies genetics and studies pigs in himself, and particularly in this breed, he knows that there's value in the sire here. And he's done so, and he done so with great fashion. He's brought us a gilt here that for his breed, for this breed, and for the kind that he raises, I think not only has the look and presence that it's going to take to win, her boldness, stoutness, and squareness is absolutely unreal. And I think Lot 47 could be a special one here at Chester Breed.
Well, I can't believe Ryan's better half is going to let him sell this Chester Gilt. Is the first thing that comes to mind when she enters the ring. Her skull and her chest is just beautiful when you watch the livestock come at you. That one's got real internal dimension and some true power that I think this breed could really use right now, truthfully. And yet you study her angle, she still bends and moves extremely good off either end of her body. She's elite in her look, yet she's got the generating indicators that Todd's telling you about. This one, to me, could be really special come March when she hits the bright lights. She's got some extra things that are hard to do. I think short term, it might take a little bit to get her bought, but a long-term investment with a plan, this one's ROI could be big time, in my opinion. Lot number 47.
Well, the next one comes in here and hits the ring, and we talk about uniquenesses. We talk about parts, pieces. This is one that I was probably as excited to see hit the ring as any. And this one comes to us from HC Livestock, and that's Brett Collins and his crew there, and obviously a family that has played the game for quite some time. And do it in their own way, and do it with great fashion. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I thought that I have the answer to everything about this one that we're going to offer here in lot 22. But I'm going to tell you that this one here is going to deserve a second, third, and fourth look, because she is going to offer indicators in this year's sale that might be one that is talked about for quite some time. And she's sired by the Money Moves boar. And I don't think that we need to know what that one has done and been able to do and will continue to do, particularly where he has landed and where he's found his home. The bottom side of the pedigree of this one would be an OMG sow, and you're going to just see Mark Gray, Mark Gray, Mark Gray on the bottom of this multiple times over and over. I'm just going to tell you that spend some time here throughout the afternoon. If you've watched the video, you're sitting ringside, I'm going to tell you to pull Brett aside and talk to him a little bit. If you're watching the video, then you need to get a hold of him and talk to him. But if you're serious about making livestock and breeding livestock long-term from a breeder's perspective, this is damn sure one you're going to want to look at. Lot 22 from HC Livestock.
Well, this is the kind, I guess, that the she sale, you always have a talking point every time you leave this particular sale about something that's different, something that's unique. And I think 22 is got to be in that particular sentence and discussion moving forward throughout the rest of the day. This thing is different. Truthfully, she kind of looks like a little emoji. She's tidy in her look, and she's boxy in her build. Everybody wants to talk about bone, and everybody wants to talk about having the wildest looking one. Very rarely do you get to say them things and still have one that comes with proportions and the right kind of body shape and texture, in my opinion. Her pliability reads like a sow. Most of the time you get one this heavy bone, they get pretty terminal. She is the opposite. She's soft, she's pliable, she's got the give on either end of her body. For a short-bodied gilt, Todd, from her tint to her tail, has got plenty of length, in my opinion. She keeps her tail on the top of her body, yet she still bends and reaches off either end of her skeleton. She flirts with some things that are hard to do, in my opinion. A show gilt that has true generating power, in my opinion, out of the Money Moves boar that sired the Grand there at Houston. He comes from a sow line that offers some differences, and then you mix it with that bottom side that she's out of. This is a big-time lot. Short lister for sure, lot 22.
Well, our buddy Big Bob comes in here next, and comes in with fine fashion. We've talked about the spots that we're offering at this year's sale, and again, we've got another one here that we can describe in lot number 9. CKL comes with comes with passion, if you will, and dedication to a breed forever. And we get to see a lot of Bobby's pigs. We get to see a lot of them grow out. We get to see a lot of them show. But Blake, I will think and saying that this summer or fall or whatever the hell life we live in now, when it's show pig season, I'll just say that I think that Bobby has went to a whole nother level. Every sale we've been to, the pigs that he has offered, I think that they have just been better than he has ever made them before. And I say that with a great deal of gratitude and pride, because I know what it means to him, and I know how important it is to him to breed hogs down deep. We all love him from a standpoint to hear what he's got to say about pigs. We know the value he brings to the ring from a standpoint of being able to feed a show pig. But Bobby Liston, the people that know him, knows that he loves to breed them. And he does it, and he does it his way. And I think this is as good a representative of what that firm has been able to do in his lifeblood in quite some time. But because every set of pigs that I've seen him sell this time, I'm going to tell you that I think has been very special. I think we've got a very special, elegant young lady here in Lot 9. She's sired by CKL Downshift. Her mother would be a Gambler sow. That's a mate to that bear that sold at the get-together that brings 6,500 the other night. The other litter mate bear we sold there at the backyard bash. There's going to be one gilt to be offered out of that particular litter. Here she is. She sells tonight, lot number 9.
Well, Big Bob and I obviously talk a lot, and I would love to echo what Todd said about the best set of pigs maybe that I've seen him have in years. And I think his new favorite song's Back in the Saddle, and that's why he's back. And I'm telling you, the boar that this gilt is sired by is going to be heard from in the breed, and he's gaining ground in a fast hurry. And then you visually look at this gilt. She's easy to like, to be honest with you. I'm infatuated with pigs that have the right maturity pattern, and I think this one does so, especially for the breed. She keeps everything in check, in my opinion, yet she has the extras in terms of length of hip, in terms of presence from the side. Her squareness coming and going for the breed, to me, is different. Everybody talks about a big ring show gilt. If this gilt doesn't have a chance to do good in a big ring, I would be very shocked. I think this gilt's extremely nice. She doesn't have maybe just the hair dripping all over, but it doesn't matter. Good livestock's good livestock. She's got a full back leg and a neat look. My compliments to Big Bob. He's back, and he's back in a hurry, and he's back in fashion. Very, very good spot gilt that I think represents what he's going to do moving forward.
Speaking of the man himself, he rolls in here next, and not only does Mr. Mollett just come join us at our events, he always brings us one, and done so again here with lot 37 in this particular gilt. She's sired by the Kong boar there that stands at Premium Blend. The mother of this one is a tricked out, and then obviously not many times can anything be said at Mr. Mollett's house, and you don't see the little bro sow laying in the bottom there. But 11.5 would be the mother of this one. She's also the mother of Conviction, which is the boar there at 66 Ventures, and then that sound too is just absolutely a pillar there at John Sowherd. She's also a litter mate to Good Magic, that sired the Grand Gilt there at the Arizona National this year, as well as the one that won all the shows throughout all of California there this last year. A unique one right here, plays at the highest level, breeding value to the highest level, comes from one of the greatest humans that I know, Lot 37, Mollett Genetics.
Well, the OG brought another one to town that I think is a short lister for sure, and you talk about gilt that's elegant, yet she still maintains stoutness. I think you could label this gilt as that. She's square coming and going. She's perfect in terms of her foot shape and her foot strength. The length off either end of her body to me is top notch. And then you start talking about gilts that can make it to 320 to 335 pounds. I think this gilt in March could be an absolute monster when them lights get pretty bright. Just the way that she's assembled, her ability to feed and get better every day, to me, she has them kind of indicators, yet you can obviously tell right now she comes with quality written all over. The perfect skull and the perfect presence with a real good feeding look to me with some extras down low. A good gilt from the OG. He does it again here at the She Sale. Always one of the top end breeders everywhere he goes.
The next gilt here to come in the ring comes to us from Heron Farms, and Tim has been a very integral part. If you sit and you look at gilts and pigs that's sold at She Sale here over the last few years, it wasn't that long ago. Many of you may remember the black-headed gilt that he brought through this ring, and then look and see what all that she has done to this point after leaving. And I think that's a true testament, as we talked about earlier, to what some of these breeders have been able to do and what they've put together. And I know that right now, before I get into detail, I can just tell you that Tim's extremely excited about this one right here. And that says a lot, because we know the passion and the love that he has, not only for the industry, but what he's been able to put together. And we talk about hardness for people to sell things and to turn loose of things and let them go. I tell you, Blake, you know good and well it is really hard for Tim Heron to load this one up and even to offer lot 23. This gilt here is sired by Little Wayne. Her mother would be a tricked out sow. It says here in the footnotes, been a very popular gilt there all season for the people that's come to see her and to been to the farm. And then, you know, when you just look and you see and know the heritage of what the sow power at Heron Farms is, and know the generations of depth of quality, and then you see an individual like this that hits the ring, that has this type of presence, and then you can just admire and imagine what she's going to look like in time. I think we've got a very special one, lot 23.
Well, the first thing that I would say, if I was Tim's grandkids, I'd probably get him coal for Christmas. That I would just go ahead and get that out of the way, and then we can start talking about the gilt. I think one of her advantages, just in livestock in general right now, she's an elevated gilt that keeps her length of body in check. I think her proportions, to me, for a late maturing gilt that's got some elevation off the ground, she doesn't stretch. She stays modest in her length of body, and then you watch the livestock go away from you. Her rear view, to me, is unique, and it's different in the most good ways ever, in terms of being flat jointed, in terms of having a full back leg all the way to her foot. To me, when you study her rear view and then you watch her come at you, one with that kind of presence you would assume would need more chest. This is not the case for this gilt. Her blade sets on the apex of her body, and she keeps her knee squareness very good to me. I really like the condition that she's into. She's immature, she's tidy, looks like one that'll feed. More importantly, looks like one that could move the needle a shot moving forward. I think a really good gilt that comes with some intangibles, truthfully, Todd, that the industry could use right now moving forward. A very nice gilt from Heron Farms.
We're excited to get this next one here in the ring, and it comes to us from Jervis Show Pigs, and this is one. We'll start out by just saying first and foremost, thanks to Crystal for keeping everything intact around there and going. And you know that she had to play a lot in this one, as high quality as this one looks. I don't know what part Drew has, but I'm going to just say that when this one sells, she sells with the name Crystal on her, because she just screams quality, and I know that's where it comes from at that firm. She's sired by Above All. And then her mother would be a top shelf sow, and there's only one Berkshire sow there that lives there at the ranch there in Blanchard, and she does so for a reason. That sow raised the Emma Gorman's gilt that was reserve overall there at the Expo, and reserve at Louisville that Goss Livestock purchased for like $18,000. A brother to that one got a piece of the show there at Springfield. That sow also raised Gadsden's Burke Bear there at Oklahoma Youth Expo. The 7th overall Burke there at the Youth Expo. It could goes on and on and on. This one here, she has a unique pedigree. She has a generating type of pedigree. She's got a pedigree that is proven. You can say all the attributes that you want to say about her. But I think when you sit ringside, as Blake and I are right now, and you just study one in terms of generating power, in terms of show-winning potential and opportunities, this is the kind of Berkshire gilt that looks like that win shows. And when I say win shows, I mean win the whole damn show, because they don't come built like this every day. In terms of her skull shape, her forearm, her bone, you look at her from the side, from a profile and her build, the length of hip that this one has, to have as much spread and boxiness about her, all of those things are very, very unique. I like lot 26 for a Berkshire female a great deal. I'm sure Blake's going to have a comment or two.
Yes, I agree with all them things that Todd said. The cool thing about the Oklahoma Youth Expo, even if she doesn't win the big prize, she looks like she'd cost a hell of a lot of money to buy out of that particular sale, because she flirts with some things in the breed that's hard to do. I think the first thing you look at as a Berkshire enthusiast, she's perfect colored. Not only is she perfect colored, yet she's got crossbred shape, she's got crossbred presence, and that's what it takes in that ring, in my opinion. She is wide coming and wide going. She has got the big legs. Right now, there is no doubt about it. She's extreme. She looks like a little sports car. I think this is a very, very good Berkshire gilt that's got some things that are hard to do. I mean this with sincerity. Return on investment on this one could be awfully expensive come March.
So the next one here hits the ring and comes to us in fine fashion, lot 16, and she comes to us from D-Man Genetics, and those of you that follow the industry in itself knows the kind of reputation, the breeder mentality, and what all comes with Dusty. In terms of putting these things together, and we sat back and we all sat ringside last year and watched that powerful set of red gilts there at the Oklahoma Youth Expo that they go 1 and 2, and arguably I think in so many minds could have done about whatever a person wanted to do, but we knew that those two surfaced and did so in fine fashion. D-Man actually raised the one that was reserved that day, and certainly one of the great breeding pieces that the breed has even seen. So proud to have this one here. This one here is an only edition. That's a board that we have there at Savage. We're very high on him. We've seen some remarkable pigs out of him. I know Dusty's extremely excited about the set that he has. The mother of this one would be a Waymaker on Blue Dreams Littermate's sister. It's a first-time gilt, not a big story. The mother herself was 7th overall Duroc there at Tulsa, there at the Gilt Show. Comes from the same Sal family, obviously, as that Reserve Grand there at OYE. Show gilt, breeding piece, whatever the hell you want to talk about, whatever you want to look at. A firm that's done it needs no more discussion in that regard. I think one that offers some big parts and pieces, lot number 16.
No question. And the cool thing about D-Man, I've known him since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, and one of my favorite things about him every time is he will do his own thing, and he will do it to a high degree, and that's a true hog breeder, and that's what he is. And that's why his red ones have always stuck out and been different. And this one flirts with that a lot because she is stout, yet look how comfortable her rear leg is and the set to her rear leg. The length of her hip, to me, in this breed, to have that kind of bone and power is hard to do. That one has got a real four-rib shape, yet she keeps her top line in check while still being comfortable. She's modest in her length. She's broad. There's no question. I agree with Todd. She looks like one that could be a true generator here moving forward of having extras. The guy's no stranger to the spotlight, and he brought you one that's different. I would encourage you to study this one in the back. I think that she could fit into a lot of programs.
Well, speaking of Spotlight, this particular firm here has been in it a few times, and the one they drop in here, I'm just going to tell you, brings some parts and pieces that that with all the winning that we've seen the Whittington firm do over the years, this one has parts and pieces to it that some of them didn't have. And that is saying a mouthful. When you consider what Whittington Show Pigs has done at every level, at the highest level, at every type of show across the country in this particular breed, and then you sit on the microphone and you say, hey, I think they made a special one this time, that is a mouthful. She is sired by the high road boar that stands there at Whittington that they put together. Her mother would be a Titan speak up noise complaint, and that's Dottie. That's the dam of the 17 litter, and that was the gilt that the Love Lady crew had promoted there through the last fall. She was a grand overall there a few times, and then made her way on to Tulsa before she was named the champion spot gilt there, and then brings $18,000 in the sale. We talk about gilts that have return on investment. We talk about gilts that have generating abilities and parts and pieces. And we talk about gilts that come from firms of genetics that is lifelong and deep bedded. All of that comes together when you talk about lot 58. I think we've got a special spot individual. I think we had a super set of spots to offer here today. There's lots of things in these breeds. We're going to talk about that in the wrap up that I think so many of them bring to the table. This one definitely has to be on the short list of many of those looking. Lot number 58.
Well, lot 58, man, there's proof in the pudding from this particular firm, and we haven't got to feed very many, but we've damn sure been beat by plenty of them. And when she comes into the ring, the first thing I notice for a spot gilt to have that kind of foot quality up front, her shoulder lays into her skeleton to me beautifully. She's a broad-chested gilt that's not open in her elbow, yet she attaches tremendous on the top of her blade in terms of her lines. Her foot strength and foot squareness to me is hard to do. These purebred hogs have been hard to find, Todd. I think they've all been saving them for the she sale. I think this one right here needs to be on a short list like you talked about. Length of hip and just organization for the breed right now to me is very, very special. She looks like a tremendous big one. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I still like good big hogs, and this one looks like one that could be that 300 plus all day long there in March and be able to darn sure get after them. I think a tremendous offering here from Whittington, a firm that's been on an absolute tear. He's only supposed to bring one to this.
The next one here coming into the ring comes to us from Strieber Genetics, and obviously Dakota. I don't even know what you say about the young man other than he's just a great human that does a great job. And every time he brings them out, he brings out something special. It seems like he always brings one to a sale, and it's special. And I know that the one that he brought to this particular sale here at the she sale this year is definitely special. And this will be tag number 51. She is sired by Wide Awake. Her mother is a Next Intention sow. But the other side of just saying that her mother is a Next Intention sow, there may be a bigger sentiment that can go to that, because that's also a different league's mother. I would tell you and challenge you to find out, but there's probably not been very many of those ever leave the backyard under the tree there at Strieber Genetics out of that particular sow. We seen a litter mate to this one sell there just a few nights ago out there at the get-together. We've seen a few of them sell the litter mates to sell there. We've seen what these pigs from Strieber do when they go on. I mean, he won Houston last year. He's had some of the most unique breeding pieces of females show and sell around the country of anybody anywhere. He doesn't have many sows. He only plays with high end. Only thing I'm going to tell you, he's probably letting one of the highest end ones that I've ever seen him let go of. He's going to do it, and he's going to do it tonight. He's doing it with a great deal of pride. He is excited for tonight because for a long time he has waited to drop this one in the ring, I can tell you. He lives 15 miles from me. I don't get to see him all the time, but when I see him, every time I've seen him, he's had something to say about this one. He's as proud of this particular individual as any of the pigs that I know that he's put together. She's got some very, very large parts and pieces about her. I don't know what all you got to say about her. Great program, Lot 51, Calico Gilt.
Well, my good buddy Strieber might get to buy a new popper with a little more airflow after we sell this one tonight here at the Butcher Block. And I'm telling you, this one's got an elite kind of a presence and look to her when you study her from the side. And she's got the width underneath that it takes. But this thing is she's got dinner plates for feet. She is stout, and she is ginormous legged, Clydesdale legged, perfect toed. She's big pen. He's got not very many sows, and he's one of my good friends, and I've been able to study time and time again. We actually got to show this one's mother. I'm telling you, she looks expensive. She looks like a true generator. She looks like the kind that it takes to me to raise herd boars and moving forward. She's just different. You probably need to get her out and look at her, and if you're not here, reach out to one of us that are, because she flirts with some things that are extremely hard to do. I'm proud of my buddy. He put together a darn good pig here that's got some things that are hard to do.
Might go ahead and order that popper. The next one here that hits the ring again comes from a family and a firm. They're right down the street, if you will. But even with that being said, proud to have Claders, the 4C group here. And I tell you, it's again another one of the firms that you never know exactly what they're going to have. But when they have it and they drop it in, it's always something special. And we do again here with lot number 1. She's sired by Upward, and then her mother would be a Fair Warning. It gets real creative there on the bottom because beyond that, it's a Mardi Gras Undisputed. This little gilt here, she don't have just a little dirt on her shoulder. She's got a little dirt in her blood. And she's one of the dirty Burks, if you will. And it seems like that the dirty Burks in this world and the magnitude always play at the highest level, and I wouldn't expect anything different here. The mom raised a cell-making bearer there at Houston for the Harper family. They're in her first litter. The mom is a litter mate to the champion Burke bearer at Coba and the reserve Burke bearer there at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. She's a full sib to the champion Burke Bear there at Tulsa and at the Arkansas-Oklahoma State Fair as well last year. Lot number 1 from 4C Show Pigs. She's sired by Upward, a Dirty Burke.
Well, guys, if you don't know what this firm has done for the Berkshire breed, you've been living under a rock. And what those genetics have done and what they've meant has been exponential, and it'll never be really quantified. But at the same time, when you study the animal that's in the ring and how she proportions from the side and where she puts her height to length ratio, combined with her feature, her balance, is truly extraordinary. I don't care if she's got pedigree or she doesn't have a pedigree. She's just quality livestock. Her feature's awesome. Her build's incredible. Crossbred or purebred, to tie her neck into her shoulder that way, her rib cage is laid on her the right way, and she can flat boogie. A great individual, regardless of pedigree or breed, but I think one that you can build around. If you're into that game of making bears that have that color pattern, this is one that must be at the top of your list. A very, very high quality lot 1 from 4C. C4.
So we need to let the next one drop in, and this one here comes to us from Farnham Farms, and certainly proud to have Logan be a part of the event this year, and like I said earlier, and a couple of them moving forward, you're going to see him in more and more of the events that Kennedy Sales does, and do so in fine fashion, and just a firm that's done a remarkable job. Expected to continue to do a remarkable job, and you wouldn't think anything different when you see the quality of livestock of what we've got in the ring here right now in lot number 17. This gilt here is sired by Sweet Dreams. Her mother would be a tricked out sow. Again, just as I said earlier today, those of you that are looking for those that are unique parts and pieces, not only to hit the ring and to run every weekend or at a district level, or more importantly, when we talk about those that hit OIE and those type of big games, this is the kind you got to have to take and play at the highest level. She comes with such elegance about her look. She comes with so much boldness, her forearm, her blade shape, the way that she hits the ground. Lot 17, Farnham Farms. I'm going to let Doug Albright, that's sitting next to me now, he's going to share a few thoughts to round us on out there at this year's offering at the She Sale.
It's awesome to have Farnham down here. I'm glad he's better at raising quality livestock than he is at playing fantasy football, because this one's is high level. I don't know if you guys have seen what he's bred, and what's that? Well, maybe, but anyway, his fantasy record and mine, we'll leave that for a discussion for later. But the quality of pigs that he's brought out this fall has been absolutely sky high. They've sold well, and rightfully so, because they're very, very good, and this gilt represents that to the highest degree. The broadness to her forehead, the depth to her jaw, and the way that she attaches that to the top of her shoulder is absolutely incredible. The base of her chest is the way that they need to look when they hit the big ring, and then her heel and the depth that she has to her rear paw is absolutely incredible. I think she can go win every weekend, but I think she'll pay for herself tenfold as a sow. That hog looks like a generator. She looks like one that'll make a boar pig. I think an extremely high quality one from Farnham.
Another belted gilt hits the ring here, and this is lot 14, and she comes to us from D&D Livestock, and Jason, another firm that when he brings one out, he always brings something that's pretty special. And I think we have another one here to look at here in this lot 14. She is sired by Run Your Mouth, and Run Your Mouth. That's the money line Judgment Day tail all dirty boar that was raised by Farnham and Rosebird. His mother is the $68,000 Boble sow there that sold a few years back there at the Boble sale. And then the mother of this one would be an Icon end game. And that gilt there, the mother come directly from Wilbur. So Jason not only put this thing together, more importantly, reached out and got the animals it takes to put this thing together, and then having the understudy to be able to do that, I think is very, very good. And you can see the outcome of what we got, because we have a special one here to talk about, as we did in so many, in terms of extra bone and stoutness and squareness. But man, I tell you what, to have that look when this one turns and you see true body shape of everything that we've seen come in today, and they come in different types and kinds. I challenge everybody that's here, and I hope those of you on ringside can see, if you want to know what true roundness of rib needs to look like, that matches a skull shape the way the hearse does, this one puts together some parts and pieces like none of the others have. Lot 14, Doug, do you have any comments on this one?
I'm not sure that I can describe her any better than that. The only thing that's got a, stouter head than that one in here is probably me. And guys, from that one, things rooter to her tutor, she is absolutely stout. And folks, I don't know if we've seen one that looks more like a generator, in my opinion, than this one. The way she's bred is absolutely incredible. It's so unique to me. I love her head shape, and Todd hit the nail on the head. When you talk about the way that hogs drop their spine, drop their rib out of their spine like that in terms of cage shape, and it reads true. If you study her head, she's stout everywhere, and it holds true from their back. Her rib cage is incredible. But what we didn't talk about was that thing turns and goes. The size of her rear leg and the size of her rear foot. She's perfect toed. She's awesome going away. I mean, I don't know where this one lies as a show gilt and how often she's going to win. It could be a lot. But I tell you, that thing looks like she will make you an absolute pile of money as a sow. An awesome, awesome show gilt. An absolute generator look. A very, very fun individual to look at and study in lot 14.
So the next one here to hit the ring comes to us from Waymer Show Pigs, and we have lot 57 landrace gilt. And I told you there earlier on that we were going to have a multiple number of landrace, and I think we've got not only multiple landrace, they come in different sizes, shapes, kinds, and yet from three of the most prominent breeders across the country in this particular breed. This gilt here is sired by the one. That's the boar there that stands at top cut. We talked about him, and then his full mate have a day that was the sire of the gilt that Kinchy had. The cool part about this one, Doug, is lot 57's mother is the sneak peek sow that Waymers have. She raised Landman, which is the $28,000 boar that sold there this summer at Exposition to Crossroads. I thought that boar was just remarkable for his breed and that day of what sold. A littermate sister to this one sold there at the First Kings for $7,500. Again, just a really, really good female. Represents this breed, represents the Waymer program. I think if you want to get into the thick of things in a landrace show and do it in a big way, lot 57 certainly needs to be looked at.
Yeah, Waymer brings an awfully, awfully good one. And guys, if you didn't see Landman, he is one of the most memorable boars of last summer, regardless of breed. And then to tie that together with a gilt that looks like this, and her sister was good, and this one's every bit or better. I mean, very, very good critter. And my speed. I mean, when you build one like that from the side, from a skeletal perspective, that can float and boogie like that one can, but then doesn't sacrifice anything from a squareness and a build standpoint. She's just very impressive to have that pedigree, to be that breed, and then collect herself from the side. Her lines are perfect. Her build is perfect. Her skeleton is exactly the way that it needs to be constructed. You're going to be hard-pressed to find land races as good as we've seen today, especially the ones that are here at She Sale. This is a very good critter in lot 57 from Waymer.
The next one here to come in comes to us from Sanders Show Pigs and DJ and Amera, obviously a firm that eats, breeds, loves this breed, has had as much success as anybody in this breed in the show ring, and doing so at the highest level. When you reach out there and you chase scholarships and you chase banners and you want to do it so with the Yorkshire, you better check in with Sanders first. And we've got a gilt here, lot 46. She's sired by the No Hesitation boar there at Top Cut, and again a boar we talk about genetics and boars and generating power. I think that thing's just absolutely remarkable. That's the boar that originated there at the Ward MC Ward farm, and then this one here is out of a Kaiser sow there that DJ and Amera has. Kaiser is the sire of Fax, who's won as much as any boar there in recent time in the Yorkshire breed. The grandma of this one is the mother of the multiple-time champion Yorkshire Barra there that Shelby Martin exhibited there, and then many of you remember him there at the Expo. The great-grandmother of this one, we've talked about pedigrees so many times, but the great-grandma of this one is the 4411 sow, which is the foundation there at Sanders Show Pigs. The pedigrees are good. You can guarantee that. You know that they're bred to be winners. But, Doug, when you set off to the side and you study and you look at them, look like this, they just even exemplify winning even that much more. There's a special one here for that breed particularly, and I know sometimes that comes across in the wrong way when people say it, but I mean it in a great deal of respect, because you don't find that length of front, that look and presence up front with that stout of forearm bone, and particularly still yet having a hind leg lay in her the way that lot 46 does.
Yeah, Todd, I mean, if that doesn't sell you on the gilt, the fact that Amera's here and letting this one leave should tell you all you need to know about what they feel about this particular gilt. I knew this gilt was coming, and I was excited to see her, and I've been even more blown away by her quality. You cannot draw a picture better of a Yorkshire female, and then in person, the stoutness to that thing's head, her arm, her hind leg, and then her ability to use her hind leg, just like Todd had said, is absolutely unbelievable. Nobody's hotter in the breed than Sanders, and this is why. Because they don't let gilts go that look like this. So if you're a Yorkshire enthusiast, if you're a quality livestock enthusiast, you probably should look in and try to buy this one, because they'll be hard-pressed to find them that look like this, and you'll be hard-pressed to find them that generate like the ones from Sanders. A very impressive individual, lot 46 from Sanders.
We're certainly proud to have the next one in, and it follows suit here. I'll talk about the group of guys there. This one here comes to us from MT Hart Livestock, and lot 39. This Berkshire Gilt. Matt and his crew, they do a remarkable job with multiple breeds. And Matt and Troy and Luke made the trip up here to Oklahoma. This is their first time to be a part of She Sale, and we're just thoroughly excited to have them here and have them be a part of this year's event and do so there at such high fashion. We talked about one like this a moment ago in lot 39. She's sired by Pen 1, and then her mother would be a Top It Off. What makes this critter even more unique, besides her look and presence, is her grandmother would be sired by Waterberg. Therefore, that's going to make this one a dirty cross. Those of you that like to play the jackpot game and then get creative in a breeding program, or actually even not scared and walk right in there with those dark crosses at OYE, you know the value, you've seen the value, and you've seen the return on investment that can come with the value of one that looks and is built this way. Pin 1, Top It Off, Waterberg. First litter gilt, not a big story. The grandma's the 60-litter sow, the Waterberg sow that come from Lidner's. Anybody that follows the Lidner program knows the value of that, knows what the 60-litter has done, and then still kind of scratch your head and wonder how Matt got that particular female ever out of comfort to begin with. But lot 39, very, very unique Berkshire looking one. I know these are fond to Dougie's heart. I'm sure he's got a comment. He knows the quality we're looking at here. Let's hear what he's got to say.
The most disappointing thing about this trip so far is the fact that this one doesn't have a pedigree for me to take back to Coldwater, America. Because, guys, they don't look like this every day when they are marked like this. One of the bigger challenges that we have in this breed, and trust me, I've got a lot of them at home, to make them have a head like that with bone like that is rare. It just never happens. I remember judging a little pig show in Oklahoma City a few years ago, and there was a Berkshire Gilt that brings quite a bit of money that was in the dark crosses. So, guys, don't be afraid of that, because one of this quality can certainly garner that type of value, as a show gilt and win, because even crossbreds don't look like this very often. With that kind of feature, that kind of head shape, and that kind of neck attachment is truly rare. And folks, I mean, her pedigree is awesome. If you don't know much about Pen 1, we are breeding a lot to Pen 1 at home because they look like this. They have huge legs, and they get better every single day. I love my Pen 1s, and this is why, because they look like this. And the way that this thing is royally bred behind that should get you very, very excited. But, guys, regardless of breed, that thing's got real big legs, real big feet, and a wild, wild look. I can only imagine what this thing looks like at 300 pounds. Could be right up my alley. That thing's very, very fun to look at. Very, very fun pig in lot 39.
Well, the next one here comes in and comes to us from Lidner Show Pigs. Proud to have Luke here being part of the sale this year. And as I said, he brought us a couple of them. This is one of two here. And this is lot 31. This gilt here would be sired by Moneyline. Her mother is a Cruel Intention, never before. The gilt's mother had the favorite Barra that they raised this last year. 3 males in the top 3 there at San Antonio. Her mother and the never before sow is the same grandma as the pair of boars that they just recently sold there to Premium Blend. And Luke Lidner, one of the great young people in the business, does just a remarkable job there. We're proud to have him be a part of the She Sale this year. And come up here. Great friends of ours, great friends of Blake, family friends. He's got an awesome dad. I love all about them in terms of the family attributes. I love watching what they get put together. We get to work a lot of their sales. and do so. I think it's a prime opportunity for those of you that don't get to see the genetics and see the genetics at work or tie into them. You've got a great opportunity here tonight at the she sale. Lot 31, she brings some special parts and pieces.
Yeah, Todd. I mean, what Linder's done, over the last decade has been really unmatched in the state of Texas. And it seems like every time I travel down there to Judge a Barris show, they seem to have some high quality ones that are just memorable. And it's likely because of sounds that look like this. And you probably should get in and get in often before that show family starts showing harder. When that little guy gets to showing, because they're probably not going to let go of ones that look like this. Her presence, her proportions, and her balance is simply next level. Her head looks like one that could generate a boar pig. The way that she's propped up and presence from the side is absolutely incredible. And we haven't really talked about show window much when I've been up here, but man, this one could make March and beyond, in my opinion, relative to her maturity pattern. She looks that kind. She's an immature gilt that has a great swoop and swing to her rib cage still. She's still long in her upper hip and her build there. I think a awesome pedigree. I mean, if you ever heard of Cruel Intentions, anybody? Yep, probably. So when you add that and the swallow genetics behind that particular gilt with that kind of look and wow factor up front, man, this thing could be very, very fun down the road. Lot 31 from Linder.
As we prepare to drop the next one in, I want to make a quick announcement there, just so all those of you online that are watching, or those of you that are making your way here to the Chandler, Wellston area there for the afternoon. I'm going to let you know that there was a schedule that was put out about some other activities for the afternoon. We're going to be tight on time. We're going to make an adjustment to that. Those of you that are going to see our friends there at 66 Ventures, don't be alarmed or concerned about time. We're going to make all that work. We're gonna get us something to eat when we get done with this, first and foremost, and then when we finish that, we're going to go over to 66 Ventures. People can see the boars there. It may be 2:30, 3 o'clock when we do that. We are not. So those of you that are listening, that are on your way, we are not going to walk the gilts back through the ring today. We are going to have an open ring. You've got the opportunity to get them out and look at them if you want to. We encourage you to watch them there on the video. We feel like we've done a thorough job at that, so we're not going to be pushed or anything for time. And then at the same time, you can get the gilts out and evaluate them as you want. Here we have lot 32, the second gilt from Lindner's Show Pigs. This one here is sired by the Trippy boar. We've seen tons and tons of good pigs sired by Trippy there this year. They're at the farm at Luke's farm sales, and I know what they think of them and the passion. And then at the same time, when we talk about the program, I think the program wraps itself up right here in this particular individual. Her mother is sired by Shug, and again, another boar that played a prominent role there for them guys, and done so at the highest level. But the coolest part about Lot 32 is her mother, or her grandmother, would also be the mother of Trippy. So you get that on both sides of the pedigree. We talked about people, we talked about passions, we talked about breeding values, and all of it again wraps up in what we have here in lot number 32. Outside of the fact, an incredible individual from a standpoint of her look, her balance, the show ring look that this one gives you. We've said it multiple times, and I'm going to say it again on this one. Those of you that are looking for a show gilt, I don't know when you want to show, how long you want to show. This one gives you a broad window, but just think of the return on investment opportunity that this one has at whatever point in her life when she weighs 350 pounds and walks into a sale ring, or more importantly, when you drop her into your breeding gilt pen. What's something like that one worth all right?
It could be exponential. Probably more than what she's going to bring tonight is what she'll be worth. And guys, it couldn't be said any better. When you talk about proportions with the wild pieces, lot 32 ties her neck into the top of her shoulder. She is short back. She's perfect in her length of body, but she's not a sissy. Okay, to have that kind of an attractive look with that type of stoutness still, and still be opened up underneath and still have such a beautiful look is so hard to do. And what this thing could do as a big heavyweight show gilt later in life is absolutely tremendous. But I, as a hog breeder, can only dream about the barras that she makes. Guys, the breeding flexibility that this hog presents is absolutely undeniable. And when it works, it's called line breeding. And that's what that is on this thing. Tying in that sow on both sides worked out tremendous for Luke. I can see why he did it, because he wanted to make one that looked like this. Wild looking, perfect built. I think a tremendous big one and an awesome baby. Lot 32 from Linder.
So the next one drops in here and comes to us from Cole Farms, and Troy and the crew there, again, new to these parts, if you will. Many of you may not know the guys or been around them much, and it's by design that we brought them in and ensured the fact that we wanted them to come to She Sale just because of that manner this time. Troy, we get to see the pigs that he sells at many of the Lidner sales this year. Obviously, good friends of Blake's, and they run in that crew and do so and do it with a great deal of fun and passion. But even with on top of that, is we've been just been remarkably impressed with the set of pigs that Troy's put together, and I think this is a great example and the why behind it. In Lot 10, this gilt here is sired by Far and Wide, and we know the value of that boar and what he's been able to do there short term this year already, and how that they've been. The mother of this one would be a tricked out 4, and then back on a French kiss sow. Again, we just talked about the breeding value of the Lidner herd. The great grandmother of this one come from Lidner. The grandmother here is the best sow on the farm that Troy is currently working with. A side note, outside of the fact of the gilt's quality and look and everything that this one brings to you, for those of you that care about or are looking long term, and I definitely think this is a long term breeding piece here. One of the coolest things on the footnote, it says her mother and her grandmother milk like Holstein cows. And there ain't very damn many of them that has walked through this ring today that I promise you that you can have that same terminology about. So if that's important to you, I think that's a positive factor. Look at this one. Study this one in terms of giant limbs, true correctness, true skeletal correctness, bone and build, and then I mean that look that this one has in front of her blade, Doug, maybe a special one there.
Mr. San Antonio, I mean, Lord Almighty, this thing is absolutely wild, and I could give you a million different adjectives to describe one that looks like this, but she belongs in a little pen, and you need to pay admission to go see her. Because, folks, they don't look like this every day. Her perfect build, and then the fact that you can set her jaw on the top of her spine and then move like that defies the things that I was taught in anatomy and physiology. I think a very fun critter. I don't know what she's going to bring. I don't know where she's at in the sale order. She's special. She looks expensive. She looks like just a very fun one to study. I could watch this thing all day. Troy, good job. Very good pig. Lot 10.
To follow suit, Troy brings in a second one here in lot number 11. This gilt here, she would be sired by Hits Different. Her mother would be a lead the way heavy hitter. Mother of first litter gilt. She was 4th overall lightweight dark cross there at the Texas Elite there this last spring. the hit difference. Them pigs have been on a very, very good tear there. There at Texas here this last year. Good gilt, great breeding piece, offers big features. Lot number 11.
Well, in typical Doug Albright fashion, I got ahead of myself. This one's very, very good as well. Troy brings us another one that I think has the same presence as the one we just discussed, and with extra stoutness. She's got a big arm and a fat hind leg, and her true advantage is rib cage. I mean, that thing's swoop and swing to her belly with a perfect underline. Is very, very good. She's flawless in terms of her range of motion off both ends. She's very good in her angles, and she just looks like she's going to get better. She's got a stout head and a deep jaw, but an attractive look. I love that Gilt's her skeleton and her presence from the side. I think she's one that can go out and get ready to win early and often and be an awesome one come March. That's lot 11, Cole Farms.
The next one here comes into the ring, and this is Kimball Livestock, and we have lot 29. And this gilt here, she would be sired by Stone Cold. Her mother would be Pistola back on the Jewel sow. The mother of this one goes back to the original sow there that started Kimball Livestock, and I guarantee you. This here is a group of this group and the guys behind this program and what they've done, but more importantly, what they're going to do in the industry is absolutely at the highest level of forecast. And I'm just going to tell you, if you want to get on the train now, because you don't have an opportunity to do this and do it very often. There is nobody I know that's more stingy about good quality livestock and particularly gilts than them, and there's certainly nobody I know that is out there chasing to buy the very best ones like the Kimball crew is doing. And anytime that they bring one out, I'd say you better take advantage of it. And I would say that this one right here fits in those exact same mold. Lot 29, Stone Cold Pistola from Kimball Livestock.
Yeah, this Brayton is one of the bright young minds, and if you've never seen him judge a pig show, that's why. I mean, he is wildly intelligent. He's fun to listen to, and does just an absolutely incredible job. And that's, you can tell because he can make good ones already. I mean, this thing's got big limbs and big features. Got an awesome head, and looks like one that I know why he's stingy, because if I made ones that all looked like this, I'd have a hard time letting them go as well. She's got an awesome look about her from the side, but with extra feature and stoutness. Got an awesome pedigree about her. And guys, that's a big hind leg that I think can generate a boar without any question. I would not be surprised if next year at this time of year you see a boar pig that hits a high lick out of this particular sow. She looks like one that can absolutely generate, but still also go win you a lot of dollars on the jackpot circuit this winter. That's lot 29 from Kimball.
The next one here coming in is lot number 12, and she comes to us from Cooper and Flash, and this particular gilt here, a great story altogether and all the way around, and then, man, you get to look at her as well. She's sired by Endless Pleasure. Endless Pleasure was the boar that we actually sold in the exchange there this summer, and that the Swecky crew purchased. That boar, even more importantly, was a litter mate to 3 extremely good females that showed at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. And I thought the boar was really good. I thought his sisters were even better. And again, we talk about the genetics. We talk about genetic pools. We talk about what it takes to make them as dense and make them as broad and give them as much spread and to give all of the extra parts and pieces that we want in them today. It all starts with a playbook, and there's a playbook behind this one. As I said, sired by endless pleasure. Her mother would be the Colson Gilt from Kings that they bought for like $14,000. That's a buckle up, Godfather, stay classy. So just if that's not enough for you in terms of what the generating population of America's show pigs that are the best are, I don't know what is. But it's embedded in a pedigree, and then you bring one in the ring that looks like this, that has the type of boldness, broadness that this one has that I've talked about. Unique one. I don't know where she lands. I don't know what show she wins. But most importantly, don't be surprised if this isn't one that you hear about that is the mother of something that we're talking about at perfect timing in a year or two from now.
Yeah, Todd, those sisters to that boar were absolutely unreal. And I can imagine they probably looked like this one at this particular stage. Guys, this one looks like she can go win now and win in the end. And not many can do that, right? She's square off both ends of her body. She's awesome in terms of her set and angle off both ends. She's got a wild, unique look and tons of muscle to burn. Perfect marked, perfect in terms of her build and her balance. But I think Todd hit the nail on the head. What she can do for you in the sow lot somewhere is really hard to extrapolate because they don't come around like this very often. She's a very good gilt in her own right that has just a tremendous upside from a generating potential. That is lot 12.
So we sound like a broken record when we let them in, and I get that, and I totally understand that, and I've said a lot about the spot breed and the pigs that we're offering within that breed. I've talked about the quality of the gilts from in that breed. I'm not going to say much here. I'll be real honest with you. This gilt comes to us from Jennings Show Pigs. If you don't know who Brady Jennings is, you don't know what's going on in today's time, and it's just one of the deals that is an individual that has played at the top of the game, dedicated to his breed, loves what he's doing, loves how he's putting it together. A remarkable individual here, lot 25. She's a Van Wilder, no words. I'm going to give you one sentence to describe the gilt. She's a full sib to Titan and to Smoke Show. So that would make Time Machine's mom. So don't think you have to say too much more. The Titan boar, the Jennings program, the dominance that it's had within the spot breed, and then he just absolutely dominated last year's Texas Majors there within this breed. I don't know. I mean, this one's in another league if you want. Lot 25.
Yeah, speechless, remarkable, memorable, whatever you want to describe this one as. Brady's dominated. What he's done for the breed has been exceptional, and this is why, because they look like this, folks. I know I've got a lot of spot enthusiasts who have messaged me like, "What's your favorite spot?" And they're very good. But I don't know, Brady, if you've ever sold one that looks like this. I probably wouldn't sell another one that looks like this. But my Lord, folks, you could describe them with everything you want. But they're supposed to look like that. They're supposed to be built like that. And man, it's fun to look at livestock that are this high quality, this high end from a firm that has absolutely waxed them in this particular breed at the highest level. Lot 25 from Jennings.
Yeah, our good buddy comes in next here with the Steve and Mark Gray consignments, and Mark is truly a good family friend, of ours, and I've had the opportunity to know him for a long time. I've had the opportunity to work with him for a lot of things. We've sold a lot of pigs for him. That's got along, that's went on, that's done great things in the industry. And with all that being said, we may have a hammerhead in the ring, but if we can get her out where you can see her for a little bit, I think you would admire a great deal. If not, make sure you see the video that Mark has of this one before day ends, because I think this is a special individual. She's sired by, quite frankly, and then her mother is actually the Stauffer gilt that Mark purchased last year that Madeline showed. And that sound would be a buckle up, next intention, and that come from Stauffer. And, I don't know if you could put or blend together two programs of dominance is what they are when it comes to genetic value and presence in today's modern hog production. And play it at the highest level. This gilt is finally going to gain herself, I believe, and hopefully you can see online what you have here. But a quite frankly daughter is a mouthful. A buckle up granddaughter even adds to that. And then you put next in there in the bottom of that. I mean, it gets better and better and better. The genetic side of all of that, I think, is extremely promising, but the value of the gilt herself, I think, is absolutely incredible. You study one in terms of build, in terms of bone, in terms of look, in terms of mass. She's not wanting to cooperate. We're not going to make excuses for that, and I hope that you would be able to get to see her, or at least talk to somebody that has got to see her, because I do think this is one of the very, very special individuals that we've done anything with or had a part of to do with Mark Gray in Lot 50.
Todd, you can describe Mark Gray with one word, and that is icon. He's an icon and a stalwart of this industry, and it's because he has sows and females that look like this one. She's being a knothead, and it's unfortunate from a preview perspective. But call any of us who have seen her. Her pedigree is unbelievable, and she looks like her pedigree, and she looks like the way I'd like my sows to look at home. I'd be a lot more profitable if all of my sows looked like that. We try, but folks, this one's absolutely on a different level. I think I agree 100% with Todd. She is one of the truly elite ones that's in this particular offering. It's just unfortunate she just doesn't want to be in the ring right now. Go back, find her, see her, talk to Mark, call us. I think this one not only could win a big show, but what she would generate and put you on the map, or put you further up the ladder, if you will, in the show pig game with one that's looks like, bred like Lot 50, an absolutely special one from Steve and Mark Gray.
We've talked about a lot of red ones today, and how special the breed has been, and what we offered, and it just continuously holds true here in lot 27. This one comes to us from Juiceburn Show Pigs, and again, a firm and an individual that's done just a remarkable job within this breed, and then even making crossbreds, but particularly this breed, if you follow along what they've done and what they continue to do, and then more importantly, I think when you forecast out what it looks like even for the future because of how they went about doing it, I think is very, very, very unique. This gilt here is sired by No Vacancy, and then her mother is a Monica clone, and that's where I was getting at. This firm has not only generated and built some of their very, very elite animals, but when they find them, they make them again and again and again over, and that allows that to happen. That sow there, she was a work of art on Danica. You cannot say the word Juiceburn and not put Danica in the same sentence without putting it in the same sentence, if you will. But I remember that Monica, the gilt. That was the one that was shown there by Holly Howard there in 23 there at Louisville, and I'm just going to tell you, I mean, I didn't have the mic that day. I don't stand in the ring and judge shows. I don't want to. I have no desire to ever do that. I'm going to tell you that was one of the most incredible animals that I'd ever laid eyes on, and hit the ring and so in doing that. And that particular, the mother of this one happens to be the mother of that one. I could read on and on. There's a storyline of footnotes of what the genetics and the value behind this one has done, and all. She's sired by No Vacancy. We've talked about Bedecker. We've talked about the Bedecker program, and then the No Vacancy boar. This one has a mother that's a clone to Monica. Welcome to the sale. Proud to have Juiceburns there at She Sale, lot 27.
Yeah, I mean, I judged that sow. I didn't beat her. She is the very best one I've ever judged in the female ring. She's an incredible critter, and I'd imagine this one looked like her as a baby. Juiceburn brings an absolutely killer red gilt to us. He always does. He's the reason I don't bring red gilts to pig sales, because I'm in most of pig sales with him. It's demoralizing just because they're incredible, and they win at the highest levels. They win all the time. To put one with that kind of look and that kind of stoutness and that perfect proportions from the side with a hind leg that works like that for this breed, for any breed for that matter, is truly iconic and memorable. I love this thing's look, her presence, her build is truly something to aspire to do and breed and make. I'd buy this one. I'd try to win with this one, and I'd make her into a sow. A very, very good one from Juiceburns, lot 27.
As we round out our preview here today, again, no hurries. Those of you that are making your way over to our friends there at 66 Ventures, we'll be there in a timely fashion, probably around 2:30 to see them. The barn here in Chandler is open. You are welcome to come in, see the gilts, get them out as your pleasure. The ring will be left open. You can get anything you want out. Take a look at them. Many of the breeders will be around. You can visit with them. The gilts will sell. They sell online at Butcher's Barbecue tonight. We welcome you to join us there. The barbecue is incredible. And then if you can't, obviously bidding will be available on CCI and done so too with Kennedy Ventures. We round out the afternoon here with our great friends, Moyer Genetic Team. Andrew and Ben, lifelong friends of ours. Love the family, the whole mechanism of everything that goes on there, what they've done and what they continue to do is a staple within our industry, and proud to have them back here at She Sale again this year. This gilt here is sired by MAGA. her mother would be a backdrop, the king. They got her listed here. They feel this is one elite female, and rightfully so. Her mother is the mother of All Access. We've talked about him multiple times this year of what he's done, what he's been able to do, and what he will continue to do. A littermate to the dam was the Reserve Spring Gilt there back in 2022 at the Oklahoma Youth Expo that sells for $50,000. Genetics in the blood, power in the blood, comes from a firm that has an understanding of the show ring, the breeding value, the production value of it, and what it takes for you as a customer to be successful. This gilt, she took the trip. I'm going to tell you, I'll be transparent. Those guys would want everybody to know that. She is not really filled back up like some of them have on the trip. She doesn't look as probably quite as fluffy as most. But I will tell you, just study one, understand the pedigree, understand the sow value that is behind this one, understand the importance of the program she comes from, and look at the quality that she has. You can still read the quality in her skull shape. You still see it in her forearm. You still see it about her blade, her feet, her angles, the way that she's put together. Get this one home, pamper on her a little bit, get her back in the mode of wanting to pound feed. You're going to have a special one. This is a great show gilt, probably even more importantly, a greater value long term in life. But don't know where she shows, where all she could show, how long she will show, but wherever it is, I promise you is a big one. This one will bring all of it you want to the table. Lot 38, Moyer Genetics.
Yeah, Todd, when they jumped this one off into my popper, I said, Shane, whoa. And that thing is absolutely wild. She may not have taken the trip like some others, but it doesn't matter because she's high end, she's high quality, she's expensive looking, because they just don't come around like that every day. Stout, power, build and balance, high end one from Moyer.
That wraps up this year's offering to the she sale. We want to thank all of you that has took time to sit through and watch. If you haven't watched it all, we would encourage you to. It's cliche to say, but I'm going to say it because I truly mean this. This is, without question, the very best set of gilts that we've offered top to bottom. The breed hogs, I think, are just exceptionally good. I think we've got probably some of the most extreme breeding pieces and high-end, unique, furry-legged crosses is probably what we've ever had to be here. I would encourage you, if you've watched the video, you have questions, feel free to reach out to Blake or myself between now and nightfall. We will sell them. We'll start on time. I promise you we're going to start on time because my wife's going to make me start on time at 6:30, Butcher's Barbecue. Join us for the afternoon. Thank you. She Sell 25.